So out here, we are getting into the body positivity movement. And so before I begin, I'm just gonna say here's my thing about it, which is I don't hate the premise of body positivity movement. What I hate is the parasitical people that came along and attached themselves to it, if that makes sense. But basically, people that like self-diagnose themselves or lie about things in order to make themselves perpetual victims, that therefore that they can never achieve, like, getting skinnier, working hard, or any of that. Or at the worst case scenario, which is actively tell you that this lifestyle is perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with you. You can eat as much as you want. You can put as much junk food in your mouth as much as you want, and they'll pass it off as completely healthy and nothing will ever happen to you. And then they'll also use it as methods of they want to get two separate airplane seats. They want bigger doors, and they want to advocate for all of that stuff, changing the rest of society, all because they can't stop eating. And there are those people. But we're gonna get into this and let's see how it goes.
Be against the law to discriminate against people based on their body size.
Unquestionably.
So why don't we see more fitness and wellness advocates ask?
Okay, before she begins, against the law to, do that. Here's kind of the thing. Some jobs have physical fitness standards, and I like if you're gonna be a police officer, military, or even like a gym trainer. Like your job literally is to discriminate against people that can't measure up to those standards. But if people are willing to like, work as hard as they want to in order to reach those standards, that's one thing. But I at the same time, if they can't reach them, they should not be allowed or forced into it because of that. If that makes sense.
For that?
I'm happy to ask for it. I'll ask for it right now. I didn't know that you thought I wasn't for it.
I wasn't allowed to have a ding dong. When I came home and I said, I want ding dongs in my lunch. You know what my mom bought me? Low fat ding dongs. Maybe there's more.
What the fuck? Is she talking about food or is she talking about like what? Ding dongs? What the fuck?
More to life than trying to lose weight. That's what body positivity has given me.
You have to love yourself. You have to invite love into the space.
How?
By looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, I'm beautiful.
It's not gonna work, kid.
It does
That's
work.
an SNL skit.
Are Americans fat phobic and obsessed with unrealistic beauty?
I hate that word. Fat phobic is a made up term in order to shame you into whatchamacallit, socially capitulating to the most narcissistic, radical people on the planet who will use other terms as well as that in order to shame you and stop a real conversation from happening. And that's literally the thing it is. It's literally this forceful social coercion.
Standards, or has the body positivity movement normalized unhealthy habits and lifestyles? I'm John Regalado, and today we're gonna have a debate about what it means to be healthy. Jillian, how are you feeling?
Feel good.
Debaters, you ready to come at Jillian with your best arguments? All right, let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Julian Michaels. I'm a fitness expert and a health advocate, and today I am surrounded by 20 body positivity activists.
Let's see.
All right, my first surrounded claim is that obesity is not healthy, and pretending it is puts lives at risk.
100% fucking agree. Obesity is the #1 killer in America. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that you should always be perfectly fit, always be perfectly in shape, but the thing is, I don't care if people are fat in general. I care about that when people are fat and they try to spread it as something healthy, and then what they'll try to do is socially attempt to basically shame society into forcing people like them into forcing everything else to set up to their standards, whether it's beauty by forcing companies to show a bunch of fat bitches in their promotion, or whether it's things like saying that, oh, this is a unhealthy body standard when it's like a regular 160-pound woman's body in a comic or something, because they want them to be a fat bitch because they want to feel better about themselves. So what they usually do is they'll try to add that stuff to forms of media and stuff.
If you want to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Hi. I'm Edie.
Nice to meet you,
I'm an
Edie.
eating disorder therapist. I'm going to do my best to.
Eating disorder therapist. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. So I'm not gonna I'm trying not to judge a book by its cover, but I feel like she's gonna say some stupid shit. But even worse, this looks like the final boss. This right here looks like the final boss of whatever whatever the hell this group is. But I'm gonna be a little scared when she comes around because there's a difference. I think she's gonna say something stupid, but I think she, at least by her look, bro, scary as hell, scary as freaking hell.
Not use the O word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat bodied as we talk.
Oh my god, I hate that. Oh, this term makes me feel bad, so I'm gonna use big boned. I'm gonna use slightly above average weight. I'm gonna use what was the other ones? Like tubby or whatever the fuck. But these are all terms that basically, no matter the way you put it, it's supposed to mean the same exact thing, which is obese, overweight, whatever. But they want to put it in a way that makes people feel better about themselves. But the thing is that these people generally do not help or serve any purpose in fixing anybody's lives or helping them. Instead, what they do is they try to rearrange language and focus on it in order to make the conversation exactly about basically the word itself rather than like what the word means. So my guess is it's gonna be like she's gonna say obesity. I hate saying that word, so we're gonna say another word that means the same thing, but she's not gonna argue about being fat is like unhealthy itself.
Okay. Do you understand why people find it harmful and triggering?
I'll give a
Overweight and
fuck.
obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Are we going to debate the claim?
Yeah,
Or
I just
are
wanted
we
to.
Gonna,
Yeah, I wanted to clarify though the
are
language.
we going to pretend like I'm a 3 and you're my mommy, telling me how to talk?
Wow.
Oh my god, I like that, bro. I like her. Oh, okay. I'm gonna say this, bro. I like her already. Julian Michaels. Okay, okay. I think she's gonna be based immediately. I like how she immediately called that out.
Okay.
Okay.
So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's
Yes.
inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes.
Okay. Where are you getting that information from?
Like, to be honest, you don't even need to fact check it. Just look at old people and look at which ones are generally fat, and look at the longer a life is, like how likely the fat ones are to survive against the skinnier ones. You're gonna see that usually it comes out where the fat ones live a shorter life. Like, that's a really big checker. And not only that, but like this is a Google search. This is a literal Google search. It literally say obesity is the #1 killer in America.
Okay. There are dozens of MRT trials that show having excess body fat. Dozens is causal, not
Oh,
correlated.
no, that's not true. There's no disease that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But obesity lends itself to all-cause mortality across the board. Have you heard of something called adiposopathy?
No.
Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat. And you understand how it works? Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's
Okay, I'm gonna guess. Sick fat. You're so fat to the point your body kills itself, or maybe you're overweight, or maybe like your bones can't carry it. I'm gonna assume it's something like that, where you being so fat leads to your body killing itself. But let's see it. Let's see what the specifics are if she says it.
additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No.
That's a beer belly. That's a beer. That's just a beer belly.
It's not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, the body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting new little fat cells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right, you get hypertrophy. So the fat cells start to expand. And this is exceptionally dangerous because what ends up happening is the blood vessels get outpaced. So
Just
the
in
fat
case
cells
the facts
can't
come
get
out
oxygen and they
this
start
way.
screaming, literally. And when they do, they release cytokines, inflammatory proteins, right?
I want to
Oh,
pause.
no, of course you do want to pause. Because it's
Okay, let me assume. She's gonna pause because she's gonna talk about language and the way it's used and how it's offensive and how it hurts people. I'm gonna assume.
irrefutable. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
This is the thing where, like, I mean, I don't hate the concept of body positivity because, like, pregnant women, like, having stretch marks is normal, or, like, having it after pregnancy is normal, or, like, maybe, like, some guy went to war, maybe he got burned or something. Like, I don't mind that because these are things that either naturally happen or, like, maybe someone was in an accident that happens. I don't mind that type of body positivity. But what I don't mind is when you tell someone, hey, you can eat like 20 Happy Meals every fucking day, and then, like, you're gonna be healthy and you're gonna be fine because you're literally just telling them, hey, to kill yourself, like, quite literally.
So, Julian, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me right now. You called me out for just trying to understand the languaging and saying I was talking to like a 3-year-old. I felt like I was talking to you very respectfully. You're talking to me very disrespectfully right now.
Here's the
God.
thing. I want to. You're telling me you understand it, but you don't understand it. You fundamentally didn't describe it accurately.
But what I understand is that
What's lipotoxicity?
I don't want to talk about.
Wait, lipotoxicity. I'm not gonna say. Nah.
I am not, okay, here, I'm gonna say this straight out. I am not a medical doctor, okay? So I'm not gonna talk to you about medical diagnosis because that's outside my scope and I'm fully
That's the
willing,
claim.
hey, I'm fully willing to be wrong. What I am here to talk to you about is the fact that people in fat bodies are irreparably harmed going into the medical system every single day because of the term, the O word.
So that
I knew it. I got you, bitch. I knew it. She was gonna argue the language and not the claim itself. Oh, bro. It's like one of those people where you tell them the sky is blue, and then they're gonna be like, oh, but sometimes the moon comes out, and sometimes the sky is red. And then you'll be like, okay, the sky is usually blue. And they'll be like, but what if there's a clouds over the sky? But what if it's raining? Then the sky usually isn't blue. And it's just like pissed off because they keep taking away from the claim and instead doing like some random ass bullshit. Bro, I got her ass. I got her. I knew exactly what she did.
that's what you want me to get?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the claim though.
The idea that fat-bodied people are inherently unhealthy is, I believe, incorrect.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not
There's a
wrong.
robust amount of data.
I'm
You are
not wrong.
Okay, so
You're not only wrong, you are so confidently wrong, it's actually impressive.
let me
You can't
finish
look-
the
you
thought.
can't look at-
Then let me finish the
Let
thought.
me finish my thought first,
Okay.
please. You can't look at a person's body and tell whether or not tell their health status.
So fat is an endocrine organ. When it overgrows, it does wreak havoc in the body. I didn't finish telling you what happens. So when the oxygen can't get to those fat cells,
Yep.
they'll die and they'll rupture. And then the immune system starts dumping macrophages in to try to clean it up.
But do you know what's
But they
even more
can't clean it
unhealthy
up.
is weight cycling. And as we talked about earlier, only except for your
That is
your
not
people who
the claim. If you want to talk about that claim, we can.
Bro. As I said, bro. But like, yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue what you about weight cycling. I'm just gonna assume it's probably like they try to lose weight, but then they don't, and then they try to lose weight, but then they don't, like something like that.
The claim is
So then what are
But
you supposed
having-
to do though? So let's say this person is in a fat body and they are inherently unhealthy, right? We're telling they're unhealthy because they're in this
the
fat
vast
body.
majority
What are
of
they supposed to
people will
do?
be significantly more prone to all-cause mortality. For me,
Intentional weight loss fails 95 to 98% of the time. So what
Tell
is
me
the
why, though? You would probably know this better than me.
Oh, it's because it's the thing about like exercising, and the thing about stuff like that is it's what I consider a long-term benefit versus a short-term benefit. Where like for a good example is it's fun eating candy every single day because it tastes good and you like it. But at the same time, it's like the long if you spend a prolonged time not eating it, focusing on eating healthy, the thing is it's boring. It doesn't feel it doesn't make you feel good immediately, but the benefits over a long term are usually better. So what's happening is that a lot of people, which is they'll usually struggle to lose weight, because it's like they feel uncomfortable, their body like immediately tells them, "Oh, I'm hungry," and all that stuff. And going through that process is extremely like tough. Extremely tough, and not everyone can exactly do it, and some people fail their diets. And the thing is not that, failing once is not the part where you consider it bad. The thing about it is they can fail, but if they continuously try over and over again, if they want to lose weight to do it, it's respectable. And the thing is, eventually they will lose weight if they keep trying. But then the people who stop trying and immediately go into depression and immediately say, "Oh, I'm never gonna achieve it," and then they just give up. Like those are the people that it kind of sucks.
because weight is not an individualistic pursuit. You narrow it down to this idea that it's causal, like that they're just not trying hard enough. But that
I
is
didn't say that. It's multifactorial, unquestionably.
Yep.
A lot of people lose weight. The problem, right, is that they put it back on. Are we in agreement?
yes.
Okay, great. Why do you think?
Okay, we got to pause there.
God damn it! All right,
I'm sorry.
John, I'm getting somewhere.
Yeah, the voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay.
Oh, next. Oh.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
I have lived in a fat body for like as long as I can remember. And I've known very many fat people. And I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending that we're okay with it.
Okay, that's good. If your friend circle isn't pretending, I like that. The people I heavily don't like are the ones that pretend everything is fine, they are healthy, and want to like put that shit into everyone else's world, no matter what. Those are generally the people I have a problem with. But if you're fat and you know it's bad and you don't recommend it to other people and you're just living your life and happy, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
What I want to say here is I live with autoimmune disorders, I live with chronic illness, and I'm also neurodivergent.
Okay, neurodivergent. So it can basically mean a lot of things, but it basically means the way your brain functions. It literally is a very broad term that means a lot of different stuff. I think it covers from people that are autistic to schizophrenic, but that's like neurodivergent. And here's the thing, which is that the first time I ever heard the term, to be honest, was from a bunch of people making fun of furries for saying it. Because like usually I don't hear like a lot of regular people say it. Like I almost never heard that word ever, except online forums mainly. But yeah, people making fun of furries, that's where I found the term.
And this is the body positivity movement has made it so that I can tolerate this life. I can find ways to thrive, even still. But I'm not pretending that this doesn't bother me. And by bother, I mean that it doesn't hurt to carry my weight. I'm willing to concede with you that carrying around extra weight is harder. It is.
Yep.
But it must be done.
I don't know that I agree with you.
Okay. Tell me more, please.
Well, tell me why you think it must be done.
Because I've worked really hard to not have this.
What does that mean? Like you beat yourself up in the gym or something?
No, I don't. That's not fun.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand what you mean.
What I mean is that I grew up with a number of undiagnosed conditions, and even I can think back to like middle school, and I couldn't keep up when the PE teacher would make us like run laps, and I'm like, this is physically aching me, and I didn't understand why. And I didn't understand why because I grew up with a single parent, undocumented.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. So far, I'm gonna say this person at least sounds like they make all their. What was the thing? Oh, screw it, dude! I almost forgot. Let me think. Where they, yeah, this person sounds like they make all of their traumas basically their personality, and yes, she has a little nose ring right here. So I'm getting very close to thinking she's one of those people, but let's see.
Single parent, we were bound to the medical system that we had access to.
I understand.
I've done what I needed to do a number of times to try to lose weight.
What did you try? Tell me.
I've worked out at the gym. I've tried to do Pilates. Even yoga.
Okay.
Even yoga hurts me.
Okay, so the exercise causes you pain.
The
due to
exercise
autoimmune
causes me-
condition. Okay, no problem.
Right.
I'm with you.
Dieting, for example.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that food makes very much sense to me in my neurodivergent brain.
This is where mechanistic eating actually helps people who are neurodivergent, and the research supports that because it doesn't have to make sense to you.
Okay.
In other words, it's like you eat on these schedules and you eat these foods and you eat this much, hence the concept, right, of
Hard pass.
mechanistic.
I don't like that.
I understand that you don't like it, but you'll have to decide which you don't like more. Carrying the weight or the mechanistic eating, because it actually could be helpful. There are other ways forward, but you told me you tried them.
I tried a whole lot. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about. I'm also a social worker. I work with youth. There are a lot of.
Let's go back to.
Oh my god, social worker. Oh, fucking course, bro. More kids to indoctrinate and turn into victims. Oh my god.
Yes.
Tell me.
I'm saying for me, right? There are many things that I'm more concerned about than my weight. My body is not the most interesting thing about me.
You just brought up your weight and said, I don't see a way out of this.
Right.
I've tried everything.
I take care of it in the ways that I can, and I've found works for me.
But you just told me it didn't work for you.
But it works to an extent.
You just told me it didn't work for you.
It works to an extent.
Then this is an irrelevant conversation if you're happy with it.
I stand on 10 toes down, that we are not pretending that
But there's
this is
healthy
okay.
at any size. There are absolutely elements and aspects of the movement that do put that messaging into the universe. I've had those debates.
You've said?
I've had numerous
I want
debates with
to-
people who are body positivity activists that try to tell me that they can be healthy at any size. And
Yep,
it's
that-
just
That's exactly what I meant. Those are the people that I hate and consider parasitical because they are actively giving people advice that will lead them to an early death and will lead them to multiple health problems, and they treat it as if it's not a problem to fix because that person's emotions matter more than that person's physical state. But the thing is, once that person dies, they what the fuck do their emotions matter anymore? They died because of the bad advice, which is eat as much as you want and do as much as you want. There's no problem with you. Here's the thing. If you're a little bit overweight or underweight, it's not too big of a deal. Like, even if you're I would say 30 pounds underweight, maybe 40 pounds overweight, it's not too big of a deal. But the moment you start not being able to fit through doors and struggling to go up even one flight of stairs, you probably have to reconsider things at that point.
not the case.
And I disagree with that.
All right, we gotta
You've
pause
used
there.
shame.
We
You've
have to
used shame as a
pause.
vehicle.
And I'm sorry, we have to pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Oh. Oh my god, bro. I already hear the boss music. Fuck. This is what I meant. I think this is the final boss, bro. She has the hair, she has the look, she has the clothing. Not only that, but she looks exactly like the type of person who no matter what you tell them, they are never going bro. Oh my god, okay, I'm ready. I'm mentally preparing myself. Fuck. Fuck, man. And she has the colored hair too, bro. Okay, here we are.
What I'm curious about is if you care about people's health and you have people in front of you, and I'm sure you have people
And she got the voice. Oh my god, bro. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
online who are telling you that the body positivity movement, or I prefer body liberation, body justice, body acceptance, body blah, all the good shit that we like,
Okay.
actually increases their health, then I don't understand your debate. Like, what are you debating if the fat people are telling you it makes their life better?
I'm debating their physical health, and I'm debating the people who claim that you can be physically healthy at any size.
Okay, do you think you can be physically healthy and mentally unhealthy at the same time?
Of course, but that's not.
Yeah, that's the same. You can have there's a lot of variables. You can be physically unhealthy but mentally very healthy too. There's a lot of like, there's a lot of like variance between that. It's not like a crazy concept, but as I said, the hair, the look, the voice. Oh my god, bro! Oh my god, she is the final boss.
Okay, sure. I think the part where I get stuck, I am a mental health professional. I work with people from a body liberation standpoint. I work with people in all shapes of bodies. What I know to be true from my experience is that body positivity, body liberation helps people take care of themselves. It's very difficult to understand why you think somebody is going to take better care of a body they hate. Like why body positivity would not inspire people to take better care of their bodies.
My argument. I never said you should hate your body. In fact,
No, you
should.
didn't.
Okay, so they don't.
Yeah, she basically just said it is unhealthy, if I remember. I don't remember the exact claim, but it was something like obesity makes you unhealthy or more at risk. It was something like that. But that's the original claim, which is not, do you like how you look? Are you happy with how you look? It's more so how you are and how you look is naturally very unhealthy or a little unhealthy to the point where you'll have certain risk associated with it, whether or not you like the way you look.
I don't think that. What I think is that there are people in the movement
Yeah.
who have co-opted healthy at any size, and it went from access to healthcare
Okay.
to quite literally meaning for them that you can be healthy at any size, and that's not true.
Okay. I mean, the studies show that if you're very, 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 very thin or your body is very, 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 very big, it is more difficult to be healthy. That is absolutely
But
true.
then you agree with me on this point.
I don't, because I don't think body positivity is the dangerous thing. I think hatred of fat bodies and people hating themselves and people living in self-loathing because they've been taught that their body is the wrong shape, that's the danger.
Both can be true at once. So let's look at this, right? So the
Okay.
first thing we would want to do, obviously, is incentivize somebody. So it's like, okay, what's the why that's going to allow you to tolerate the how? But hold on. That's the positive. That's the inspiration piece. Okay? Now, here's the issue. If that piece, if all the things that they get out of it don't serve them as much as the things they're getting out of being overweight, and it does provide quite a lot. I can give you an example.
Wait.
Then they're not going, unconsciously, they will sabotage the change. Can I give you an example so you'll understand it? Okay, there was a kid that I worked with
Okay.
on Biggest Loser. He's 18 years old.
Okay.
He shows up with his dad, Ken. They both lose like 100 pounds. They go home, and they're visiting their family. It's the holidays. Doors fly
Yep.
open, and there's mom. And mom starts crying. And she's not crying tears of joy. She feels like they're going to abandon her, like they broke the contract, like they've outgrown her. And she becomes sad and she withdraws. So what does the 18-year-old do? He starts eating with mom again. What does the food provide him? A connection with his mom. I had something similar with my dad. It was one of the ways that we connected. Food provides a lot of people with a lot of different things.
Yes, you cannot eat and not have your parasympathetic nervous system turn on at the same time. There's no such thing as not emotional eating. It's fine. It's good. It's great. Food is great.
But what I'm trying to show you is that if, in some cases, the pain associated with continuing that defense mechanism is greater than the pain associated with change, it helps people change in some cases.
Yep.
not in the long term. And I
don't agree
struggle.
with you.
Pause there.
agree with
Sorry,
you.
you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Oh,
So earlier you were speaking about how there's randomized control trials that
There's
show
MRT, Mendelian randomized control trials that have now shown us that
Yep.
obesity is causal to all-cause mortality.
Okay, so I disagree with that. I think there's going to be a problem with the
oh my God. Oh yeah, I disagree with something that is a factual reality that not only do you not need to look at studies for, but you can just look at how certain people who are obese are dying at a faster rate than people who are not obese, whether it's a mixture of their diseases and others, or just because of them eating themselves to death or something.
Yeah.
Good
So,
fact
but
check
here's
them.
why I disagree. Because
You can disagree,
No,
but
but
there
let me
can-
please let
there
me
are
hear me out.
dozens. Okay.
Okay. So the reason why is because registered dietitian, school for 6 years, studying nutrition, weights, all the stuff, and
Tell
we
me
can't
what
keep.
lipotoxicity is.
It doesn't come up in my curriculum because it's bullshit. Because it's a TikTok thing
What is
that's
it?
like,
What
cortisol
is it?
face or whatever.
It's
but
not.
please, just
Listen
back to
to
the
me.
studies.
It is not bullshit.
studies, back to the
It's
studies.
ectopic fat.
But can we just
It's
say,
when
because you keep
fat
sidestepping
ends
and then
up-
we can
I'm
never
not
get anywhere.
sidestepping this.
And you see, this girl's basically arguing with emotions, and she's one of those people where it doesn't matter how much you tell her, how much you how much you show her factual information. She only believes in one thing, which is fat is not unhealthy, no matter what, no matter when, no matter how destructive it is. She probably can't think in terms of second or third effects after being obese. The only thing she thinks of is obese is not bad, and she's never gonna be taken out of that, probably. Let me see.
Is the claim.
Okay.
Okay, the claim is that obesity is unhealthy. Lipotoxicity
But the
is
reason-
not bullshit.
but-
it is the definition of ectopic fat.
It's
When
funny it never
fat
came up in
gets
6 years of a
deposited-
professional accredited undergrad.
What's fatty?
And this is the thing too, where now she's using, I went to college, so therefore I'm smarter than you. And the thing about this is there are some good classes, but at the same time, there are a lot of bullshit classes that do nothing except make people mentally cope with each other and turn it into something about ignoring reality for how people feel rather than anything else.
Liver disease.
I know what fatty liver. I was a
What
clinical
is it?
dietitian in a
That's
hospital.
lipotoxicity.
Okay,
Okay. When fat is in the liver, when fat is in the heart, when fat gets deposited in the brain.
Yeah.
That is lipotoxicity, and it happens when the body has no place to put the excess energy anymore.
Okay.
It is irrefutable that that is bad for your health.
Can we just go back to the correlation doesn't equal causation? So you're saying there's causal studies, right?
Yes,
Okay.
MRT
Gotcha.
studies
You can-
that show
the acronym is great. Okay, so my thing is the reason why we cannot show that the fat in and of itself leads to the negative health outcomes is because we cannot keep a human in a lab.
Oh my god, this lady giving me a headache.
And control every factor, but have the only thing
why
that's
they
different.
use Mendelian randomized control
But can you just
trials.
listen? So a
But
person,
that
a person.
inherently eliminates any conflating factors because they're based on genetic predispositions coupled with
But can I
lifestyle.
just share something? A person in a larger body has experienced things that we can't undo from the fat. So, for example, they might have negative health outcomes because every time
I changed my mind, man. Okay, that Karen was not the final boss. I'm sorry, Karen. I misjudged you. I misjudged you. You're way better than this girl. You are way better than this girl. Right here, Granny. Congratulations to you. You are far superior than this girl.
they go to a doctor, instead of being given an evidence-based treatment, like I have unearned thin privilege, I go to a doctor, I say, my stomach hurts. I get a full
You're
workup.
basically saying the earth is flat. Are
Yeah.
you trying to tell me that having fat in your liver,
I just wanna talk
having
about-
fat in your heart, having fat deposited in your brain is healthy?
No, I just want to talk
Okay,
about.
so no, you're not trying to say that it's healthy.
No, I'm not trying to tell you that, is what I said. I was never talking about the health of it.
Okay.
I'm trying to say everything you're saying is hinging on this idea. And
These are the type of women, this is literally the type of woman that, she doesn't think, okay, being fat equals being slower, struggling to get upstairs more, being less capable of fitting into certain things, being out of breath more often, being unhealthier, and also struggling to lose weight, as well as like potential extra health problems that correlate with being fat, or because of the fat multiplies them a little extra. She can't think in this way. The only thing she is thinking is fat is you can't say fat people are unhealthy because that makes me feel mad, and therefore my feelings have to subvert and destroy reality, because what matters more is me caring about other people than it does anything else.
It's a problem that we disagree on it, that it's the weight in and of itself that leads to the negative health outcomes. You're saying this MRT totally is.
Fat is an endocrine organ.
I know, but can you,
It
what about?
release, it destroys your hormone balance. It creates insulin sensitivity.
What about the
when
fact-
the body has too much fat?
Here's the thing: I'm not a doctor, she sounds like she's spitting. She sounds like she know what she's saying.
It releases insane amounts
Yeah.
of different.
I just wonder, have you heard of social determinants of health?
Tell me about it.
Okay, social determinants of health, a group of factors that impact someone's health outcomes.
Okay.
That are things like your healthcare access and quality, neighborhood and built environment, things like your stress levels, socioeconomic status.
Oh my god, socioeconomic status, healthcare. Oh yeah, she one of those. I can already tell she's extremely far left, bro. I can already tell the rest of her politics based off that. But basically, what she thinks is that healthcare is the one and only thing that's capable of changing and affecting your life permanently, and no amount of eating, destroying your body, or doing bad actions and having those negative consequences affect you are responsible for any of your problems. That's what I'm gonna assume she wants to say. Where basically she thinks that healthcare it has to be good enough that it can fix every issue that you put upon your body. Like if you break your leg, like yes, they can help heal it, but the thing is your body's still fucked up from breaking your leg. And another thing is obesity is the same way. But she's not using it as a healthcare mixed with caring about your body and attempting to make sure you have longevity in living by ensuring that you do things like exercises and stuff to make you live longer. She basically is saying that, oh, I don't have any responsibility to take care of myself, and this is the only thing that can do anything. And if this thing doesn't do anything, it means the healthcare is trash and we need more treatment, and the only thing that can fix it is more treatment. And rather than going to the thing that helps cause those problems, she's only going to focus on healthcare itself as being the only way to fix something, even though someone has an unhealthy habit that is actively destroying them, causing all those problems that they need healthcare in the first place for.
Here's the thing. A person who's fat or lives in a larger body, we can't take away that person has probably experienced higher stress levels their whole life from experiencing marginalization every corner, from shows
Oh my god, marginalization. Oh my god, bro, I'm gonna be honest, this is I'm so thankful I did not decide to go to college. Oh, dealing with people like this sounds annoying.
like The Biggest Loser to the doctor's office.
okay.
We can't take away that they haven't been given evidence-based health options, because when they go to a doctor, they're told to go lose
When
weight.
fat gets deposited in
But you're
the
not-
brain,
you're not answering what I'm
how
saying.
how does
She's answering what you're saying. The thing is that you've built an emotional wall that until she says and capitulates to what exactly you want her to say, you're never gonna listen to her argument clearly enough to like cut it apart and like see what the problems are in it. Instead, you are looking at it as if this is my solution is this and nothing else is capable of being there. So as long as you don't do exactly what I want you to say, you are wrong. That's basically what her brain is telling her. That's basically what she's doing every fucking time.
I'm confused. Are you suggesting these are the reasons people become overweight?
No, I'm suggesting that a person could be in a larger body and be perfectly healthy based on
Do
their
you realize
lab,
that
their
only
cholesterol.
7% of people who are classified as overweight or obese, call it whatever you guys feel comfortable with, only 7% are classified as healthy.
Say that was true. Say we knew for
I can
certain.
go grab the data for you right now if you want.
Say we knew for certain that it was unhealthy. That
Damn, bro, 6.8%. Damn. I guess depends.
what you're saying is true.
And here's the classification.
But even then, we'd be in this place where, okay, so what do we do? Are we going to send someone down a path of trying to lose weight and then gaining and trying and gaining? And we know that weight cycling in and of itself, bad for the heart, bad for insulin, bad for the
What do we
brain,
do?
bad for all the things.
We work with that individual.
That's what I do in my private practice.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I don't encourage.
I'm gonna say this. This is basically suicidal empathy right here. Well, not suicidal. It's more like she's giving someone else. It's more like she's propping up someone else and backing up bad decisions for somebody else. So she's actively causing people harm by being allowed to work with other people. You are doing far more damage than you possibly think by catering to their emotions rather than catering to reality, diseases, and specific things in order to fix the problem. You are doing far more harm than any amount of talking mean to them or saying mean things ever could do.
Weight loss because it's unethical.
I disagree with you.
Unethical.
Ethical. You were asking before what
it's
do
unethical
professionals do?
not to be transparent with people about the dangers.
Yeah, transparency is the dangers of weight cycling. You can go down that
That's
path.
a separate issue. You're presuming they're weight cycling. If you're doing your job, they shouldn't have to weight cycle, right?
No, it's not about me. It's about the body. The body is so smart. But we're animals. Our bodies, when we lose weight, our body goes, oh shit, she just starved me. I'm gonna do.
And that's the thing. Your body, I think it takes usually a 3 to 5 day period before it really can begin to kind of reset itself and adjust to maybe a new diet or maybe a huge calorie deficit. And the thing is, you need a lot of self-control because your body or your mind is always going to go to food, 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 food. Once you can get past that hurdle, usually it's far easier continuing, but then the part is staying that way also is hard. But here's the thing. Great things don't come to you because they are easy. Great things usually come to you because you worked hard for them. You're not going to be handed down a perfect Greek goddess body just because you want it. You're going to have to make it yourself by fighting for it. And the thing is, she doesn't want to fight for it, so she would rather use these emotional arguments as a reason why, all of the facts, all of the science, all the data doesn't matter.
Everything I can to try to get back to that place.
I think it's
drive
more
up thoughts about
complex.
food.
I think it's more
slow down
complex.
metabolism to conserve the energy you are getting.
So are you suggesting that because it's hard and it's multifactorial, we should negate the dangers and not try to get
I'm
healthier?
suggesting that it's more
Exactly.
dangerous to weight cycle than it is to stay in a fat body.
That's still not the claim. And if
Dude, exactly, because she basically saying, oh, everyone who attempts to lose weight is gonna weight cycle and then they're gonna die because of weight cycling. Not everybody does, and the people that do, there is special treatments and ways to try and help them, accommodate it and fix that for them. But then the thing is, she's basically saying, oh, you're endangering them by forcing them to lose weight. And what she's doing is she's putting them in more danger because this destructive idea is gonna get people literally destroyed. People like her are the reason why I can't support the fat. Like I told you, a literal cancer. This is why I can't support the body positivity movement, because as I said, there's few cases I'm fine with, but parasites like her are the reason I can't support it. Parasites like her would rather subvert reality, facts, logic, and everything, all for the sake of egging you on to continue a bad decision to destroy yourself. And while you are destroying yourself and putting yourself in more pain, she gets to feel morally righteous as you and everyone else suffers because of her advice.
if you want to show me that, sure, show me the data. I'm not going to argue with that. It's not healthy to do that either. That's still not the claim.
Your claim
This
is
isn't a
fat in of itself.
hierarchy of what is unhealthy.
We're out of time. We have to pause there. Yeah, thank you for that exchange.
Thank God, bro. Oh,
Who put these here? Can someone remove these off the set, please? Come on.
Damn, looks like 2 pounds.
Oh. Thank you.
Damn.
Thank you. That could have gone really bad. Workplace injuries are inevitable, and
Yep.
luckily for me,
Especially in engineering or in oil rigs or in the military, because those jobs require lots of danger. But let's see. Most likely, he's going to talk about work trip falling or some kind of insurance. My guess is going to be that.
I know just who to call when accidents like that happen. Once on my way to work,
Oh my god, I was right. Yeah, he's gonna he's gonna say an insurance company.
a motorcyclist lost control, rammed into my car. He left with a few scratches, but unfortunately for me, I totaled my car into the highway divider and suffered a few injuries.
That is extremely rare. That is an extremely rare case where the guy on the motorcycle has less injuries than the person on the car. Like, that guy got lucky as hell because usually it's the motorcyclist gets horribly hurt and the person in the car has minor to no injuries at all. That's usually how it goes. Damn. That's a very rare occurrence. Jesus. I know that shit. I drive a motorcycle. This is fucking dangerous. I still love it though, but it is dangerous.
Thankfully, a friend referred me to Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and the sponsor of today's video. Morgan & Morgan.
Let me guess. He's gonna say that I think it's like they don't charge you if you lose the case. They're only gonna charge you if you win the case. But the thing with them is that they're gonna look into the case beforehand and take their chances on if it's gonna win or lose, and then most likely they're gonna try to make sure that everything on their side is capable of easily making them win, or at least highly likely of making them win. Let me guess.
Specializes in a wide range of personal injury cases and have won thousands of big cases. With over $30 billion recovered for their clients, Morgan & Morgan knows a thing or two about fighting to get you the compensation that you deserve. The best part? Morgan & Morgan's fee is free unless you win. If you've also...
Exactly, that's what I meant. Exactly, bro. I'm very good at this. I'm very good at I'm very good at advertisements, bro. Very good at figuring out which ones.
Been a victim of personal injury or any other serious accidents, you can visit www.forthepeople.com/Jubilee, found in the description below, to start your free claim today. Thanks.
Yeah. So it's entirely up to you guys whether you want to or not. So if you trust Jubilee, go ahead. If you don't. But at least from what I know, Morgan & Morgan, they're highly trusted. So take his word for it if you support him or not. And yeah, don't take my word for it. Just take his word if you trust him, basically.
/Jubilee, found in the description below, to start your free claim today. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this portion of the episode. And now let's get back to the video.
Hell yeah.
My next surrounded claim is that the large food companies are one of the primary beneficiaries of the body positivity movement.
Oh my god, dude, it's so true. Because if you're eating cake, if you're eating like sugary foods, processed foods, all that stuff constantly, they are winning. And the thing about it is, like, your food, it both helps you stay alive, but at the same time it makes you sick. And then that food then makes you go to the hospital, which then, oh no, not hospital, but like, doctors or whatever. But then after that, you pay for healthcare, and then the same thing happens where, like, stuff happens, maybe they tell you something, and you go back to eating the same food, which is causing you it. But then the body positivity movement, because I said they were toxic, what they recommend you to do is just infinitely eat and, like, never ever go back, and,
All right, if you want to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Hi. How are you? I'm Chiffon.
Nice to meet you, Chiffon.
So, what are you classifying as large food companies?
Okay, Pepsi.
Kraft, fuck, what was it? It was Kraft something. I forgot the other name, but there's a lot of them. There's like
Coca-Cola,
Yep.
General Mills.
Pepsi
Okay.
too.
Now, if they were beneficiaries and benefactoring and making all this money off of the body positivity movement, why is it that they spend billions on calorie counting apps, on a lot of things that we see in society?
Oh, it's simple. They can profit off of you getting fat, but they can also profit off of people exercising to not be fat. Therefore, they can take advantage of two entirely different markets. Because, like, if she said Coca-Cola, let's assume they do what she's saying. What they're doing is basically they're giving you soda, which makes you fatter. Then after that, they're giving you like water and stuff. So if you use water for hurricanes or other situations, you always use their product. But then after that, when you're calorie counting and cutting off food, then they make sodas for you that are sodas or drinks for you that are specifically for people who want to lose calories. So then they make it so that they're less fat, less sugars, and then they take advantage of that market. It's literally that simple. They will always branch out to take advantage of as many markets as possible.
As forcing the losing weight or talking about losing weight. Because that, to me, doesn't make sense and doesn't correlate. But also, people that are benefiting from this are the people in the body positivity movement themselves. A little bit about myself.
Wait,
No.
can I clarify one
please,
thing?
please.
I'm talking predominantly about finance.
Okay.
Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you. Even that, I still will say, so I come from the wedding industry. So
Damn.
I created the first publication in the world for plus size brides. I've now gotten 13 wedding publications around the world. And my biggest thing is the wedding industry is very centric on this is what the wedding industry looks like. I have created a platform where and not just larger bodied body positivity, but body positivity for all sizes. And I'm gonna come specifically from the wedding industry, which is very different, I know, but it still is very weight-centric.
Okay,
Yes.
so your argument is the wedding industry is the primary beneficiary?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's where my knowledge comes from. Okay. But the body positivity movement is really for us. We are the main, and I'm saying we because I'm a large body person.
I totally understand.
That's where it's really coming from.
Can I show you the ways they're exploiting it?
Oh, please, please, please.
Okay, so there have been two really big exposés, one by the Washington Post and one by the Examiner. So they're coming at this from numerous angles. So the first one is they've gone after a lot of the intuitive eating dietitians.
Okay.
So can I give you some statistics?
Please.
Okay. So Washington Post analyzed more than 6,000 social media posts by 68 registered dietitians with a combined reach of over 9 million followers.
Damn.
40% of them were using the anti-diet language, right? Like food freedom, no food rules, ditch the diet, healthy in any size, so on and so forth.
Yeah, if I see anyone using that, I'm just gonna assume they dumb. I'm gonna assume they dumb. At least the thing is, you can't trust everybody out here in social media, man. It sucks, but it's true. It's like you have to kind of use your rationalization to think, and like the same thing applies to me right now. If you're watching me, you gotta think critically, man. It's the same thing with where a lot of people are sellouts, a lot of people are liars, a lot of people use things to benefit themselves, and then you use your thought to say, do I support this person or not, based off of if I think they're actually smart or really dumb people.
Very often not disclosing the fact that they were paid by the big food companies.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're basically going after the intuitive eating dietitians. I can give you Abby Sharp.
But that's okay though. But I want you to listen.
Okay,
because
yeah.
they are doing that.
Yes.
But the aspect that the body positive movement is really for us, that is not even anywhere we need to equate into it.
I don't agree with you. When they're using your movement.
But do you, and I'm gonna say this clearly and for right now, I don't care who uses my fucking movement. I want the movement to be there. And that right there, they can take it. It's marketing and sales 101. Of course they're gonna use the fucking movement.
But then why can't you guys?
I think she's going about it wrong. There's a lot of movements, and certain people should not be like allowed to be associated with it. Like I'm just gonna say, certain people should not be allowed to associate with certain movements. And the thing is, freedom of speech, yeah, they'll have that. But the thing is, like, if you want to combat their opinions and tell people why it's wrong, like factually, logically, obviously, and use that towards your advantage. But let's
I
see.
say you don't get to co-opt our movement.
That's not for me to do. I don't care about that. The thing is we don't care.
should.
But it's not about we should. We are doing what we're doing because this is our family. This is our world.
There are
It
people
doesn't matter
that are
about what.
exploiting
Do you
your
think I
family.
can? But the thing is, we don't care. We are the movement.
But there are a lot of people that are being hurt by this. And these guys essentially are engineering food to be addictive. To quite
And you know what? And I will say this. I will
Okay.
say this.
Yep, more sugar, more processed fat, and a lot of things that make it so that you just can't stop thinking about it. But sugar's the really big one, where like it's just sugar's addictive, and dude, like people love the taste of it, so they put it in everything in order to get you to want to be eating more.
I will give you the claps on that. I will say, yes, that is true. But what I do want to say is that happens all the time. A movement starts and someone comes in and takes it, and someone comes
Sadly,
in and comes
yes.
in it, and someone comes in and
Sadly,
runs
yes.
with
Don't deny it, you
But
just don't care, is what you're
no,
saying.
I'm saying it's fine for them to do that, but the bigger issue that I want you to realize is that the body positivity movement is ultimately for us. If someone wants to come and get on our coattail, that's perfectly fine. But for us, it doesn't need to go away. It doesn't need to go
One's
anywhere.
asking for it to
doesn't
go away.
But
I'm
it's
suggesting.
now, see, there's a suggestion.
Okay.
I like it. I like a
Okay,
suggestion.
I'm suggesting that it could evolve, that you guys could call out when you're co-opted, that you could centralize messaging so that it's not all over the place.
Now that, Julian,
right?
I am not opposed to.
Okay,
I'm not opposed to that.
But I'm not saying it should. That's not a claim.
No, but the thing is I want you to know who the true beneficiaries are. You're saying that they are the main
I'm
beneficiaries.
speaking financially.
Yeah, and
I
that's
apologize.
Okay. And that's okay. But you're saying the claim says that the large food companies are the main beneficiaries of the body positive movement. That is not correct.
I understand.
Because we are the main people. We are the main beneficiaries of the body positive movement. If someone wants to come and get on our coattails, go ahead.
Disagree
do
with you on that. I think that's a
okay.
mistake.
And that's okay.
I think that you guys could tell them. You could expose what they're doing. Can I read you something else?
Please.
Okay.
I'm here to hear.
Can I just show you
like, this is a
how
great dialogue.
diabolical this is? Okay. I have a friend that's on the inside. He sent me this. He goes, I just want to show you the ways in which this is being in the inside of I can't say that a big food
company.
You got
Yes,
it
yes,
exactly.
yes.
Okay, so here's the intentional message overlap, right? So healthy at every size. Quote, you can be healthy at any size. Corporate benefit. Removes health concern barrier to sales. Stay with me, okay? Dieting doesn't work. Protects snack foods from being cut. Healthy at any size. Weight and health are unrelated. Corporate benefit. Deflects from products causing obesity. Healthy at any size. Weight stigma causes disease, not weight. Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna let you. I'm
I'm
finish.
just showing you. This is
What
this
I
is an
want
internal.
to bring, what I would love, and I'm saying love because I want it, but I love it more. If there is such a resistance to the body positive movement, and I'm speaking specifically kind of from your
me?
standpoint,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
If there's such a resistance to the body positive movement, why are you letting them take money from you?
Where's the resistance? I'm telling you.
Resistance of acknowledging or saying that it's actual, that it needs to be.
I think that there are absolutely. I think that intuitive eating is a goal, not a treatment plan. I think that having access to health, which is what health at every size was initially intended to do. I think all those things are important. I think, unfortunately, the fact that the movement is decentralized and it's prone to being co-opted, it can do harm in the ways that I have shown you.
And
that's
okay.
what I'm saying.
And that we can agree to. I could agree
we
with that.
We got to pause there.
That's good.
We got to pause there. You've been voted out by the majority.
Well, I really appreciate this.
No, this was
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you very much.
Next. Oh.
So I really want to focus on what you've just been.
Okay, let's see. We got a hog, boys. Let's see. She got the glasses. She got the hair. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We have a little bit to fear here.
Saying about the co-opting of the movement, because
what you seem to be critiquing is the people who've co-opted the movement, not the people who actually built the movement, not the people who actually are the movement. So the idea that
is the movement, though. So the thing is,
Well,
like,
for
I
what-
don't want to name names, but there are many, okay, influencers who have said these things. So who's the movement?
influencers and activists are not necessarily the same thing. We were allegedly invited here as
I mean, technically not, but that's the thing. A lot of influencers can be activists. Like they're not mutually exclusive. It does happen from time to time. Well, let's see.
activists and advocates, not always the same thing, right?
Oh,
Some
I
influencers
don't
are.
disagree, but it's become, as I mentioned, a patchwork quilt of like, I'm an activist, I'm an influencer, I'm a dietitian. It's whereas like when you look at something like AA,
Well, let me
very
guide you to
clear.
something very clear about the Health at Every Size movement. Health at Every Size is actually a registered trademark of the Association for Size Diversity and Health.
I know.
So when people are misusing that,
I know
we
that.
are a movement that doesn't have the same resources as the health and wellness industry or the health and wellness grifters or the major food industry, right? We don't have those same resources to fight every time somebody misuses our terminology, our philosophies, our practices, our values. But there are some of us out there who are doing that, right?
I never see the caveats. I never, ever see the freaking caveats.
So,
Oh my God.
one
But
thing
maybe
is-
today,
maybe
I-
you
you're-
could help amplify some of the caveats.
I am doing that right now.
Okay, so let's go to the
I'm
claim.
trying.
The claim that body positivity is primarily benefiting big food companies.
I mean
If that's-
financially.
I got it.
Because individual benefit, I can't, it's not quantifiable. I'm talking about the way these bastards are manipulating this message.
Right,
To
okay.
do things
So-
that I think are very unethical.
So, if body positivity is feeding their profits, will we see their profits reduce as this pendulum swing away from body positivity continues to go back to the, like I get asked all the time as the director of NAFA, is body positivity over? Is body positivity over because of Ozempic? Is body positivity over because
Oh my God. Yeah, it fucking died because of Ozempic. Because all those body positivity, like fitness, no, not fitness, celebrities, as soon as Ozempic hit, they gone. They were gone. All of them were gone. Because the thing is, the movement was never about healthy at any size or loving yourself. It was about people that felt they looked ugly, so they wanted somewhere to fit in. But the moment they could leave it and not face the consequences of their eating, they did it. And I think wasn't it Amy Schumer, right? Let me see. Amy Schumer. I want to spell her last name. Now here it is. Damn, severe side effects left her. I did not know about that. Jesus. Ah, there it is. Damn, severe health consequences. Damn. Well, yeah. You could see, like, she used it. I did not know about that's kind of sad. Bedridden and can't play with her child. Hopefully she's okay. Like, whether or not, like, let's be honest, she's not a funny comedian, but like, I don't want her to be like hurt off of this drug that, because I heard some people like they lost their eyesight and had huge side effects, like because the Ozempic craze, as soon as it hit, a lot of people just went into it without thinking, and I don't even think it's supposed to be used that way. But yeah, a lot of people used it, and once it did, specifically celebrities, like the body positivity movement basically died because it was always about them wanting to look skinnier rather than anything else.
because of Maha, is body positivity over? Part of my argument is it depends on what you're in body positivity for. If you're in it for systemic change, it ain't over because the system ain't changed, right? But I do concede the point that like we are moving away from some of what we saw as body positivity for the last 10, 15 years.
And what do you mean by
As
that?
we
Sorry.
move away from that, it's less popular, it's less
Oh, I
trendy.
understand.
We're
Yep.
moving more towards a thin-centric ideal again.
Hell yeah.
Or, leaving behind, we've labeled body positivity DEI and we're turning away from that, whatever.
Hell yeah.
As we move away from that, are we going to see the profits of these food industries drop?
Well, you are.
Why would you?
The answer potentially is could be yes, but most likely no, because these guys aren't dumb. Most likely they're just gonna switch into extremely healthy foods and making sure their foods are healthy and good for everybody. Because like if their profits drop, they're gonna go to healthy foods in a fucking second. If everyone stopped eating sugary foods, they will make the healthiest, nicest foods ever. Like steak, they'll do bacon, they'll do cheese, they'll do all of that, and they'll do it nice, healthy, and make sure it's the nicest way. These guys ain't dumb. These guys ain't dumb.
Need to make food genetically addictive if body positivity can just sell that food. If you could just tell people when you feel good in your body, you're going to eat all the Nabisco snacks that you want to.
Because
then why do we have to make
realize
them
that
addictive?
They don't even want you to stop eating one chip. This is how incremental they are about this. They literally engineer. Just hear me out. They don't even want you to have to stop and take a drink of water when you're eating their chips. So they engineer how much fat is in your mouth in each bite. There are a team of multidisciplinary scientists that literally work around the clock, 24/7, day after day, year after year.
Their body positivity scientists.
No.
So this is the thing.
No, I'm
right?
saying
what you're describing is a misuse of science.
Yeah.
What you're describing is, what you're describing is
friction.
business. What you're describing is capitalism. What you're describing is greed.
Yes.
Body positivity is not the reason for that.
No, I'm suggesting that I think you guys should get pretty freaking vocal and pissed because these guys are actively manipulating your message. So much, I haven't even gotten to half the shit that they do. So for example, they have effectively lobbied to remove nutrition guidelines and warning labels on food packaging because of harmful shame. It's like, trans fats are bad for your health.
Okay,
it's a fact.
They have advocated for that. The body positivity movement, the fat activist movement, they're using
messaging.
Our language, right? Like
yes.
you said, co-opting.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they should stop co-opting our shit.
But they're not going to. But yes, that's what I'm saying.
So how do we
I
build
think
more?
You guys should get pissed about it. Like I get the things you're pissed at.
We are pissed about a lot of things.
I get it.
This
Can you
is
add this
it's
to
a
the list?
long
Add
list.
this. I'm saying they're the primary. You want to indict someone?
It is on
indict
the list.
I agree with her.
It is on the list for some people whose focus is body positivity, right? We have different foci. I do civil rights stuff. Some people do fashion stuff, wedding industry, health and wellness, eating disorders. There are folks who are thinking about the food industry. There are folks who are nutritionists who are, I can't, without seeing the list of like the people that I remember the Washington Post article.
Yeah,
some of those people are
grabbing
not
the
people
intuitive
that I
yield.
would associate with us.
I understand, but they're literally. Many of them are certified in intuitive eating.
Okay, but
like
they're not,
Abby Sharp.
But that's not health at every size. Intuitive eating is not a health at every size
but
principle.
that's part of my problem with the movement is that it's like, but it's not that part. But it is that part.
You're
all
saying
of
our
it.
problem is that we conflate that all the things get conflated.
I'm not saying it's your
but
problem.
You're conflating
I'm saying
some of the things.
I'm saying my issue is that because it's become a patchwork quilt, an amalgamation of movements and voices. Oh, it's an activist. It's a political. It's an influencer. It's a celebrity. There's no accountability for any of this. There's no through line, and it allows exploitation in ways that I think can be hurtful.
Why isn't the entire public holding food companies accountable?
Because you guys are eating the food, and you guys care more about conveniencing yourselves with nice food rather than holding them accountable. Because, say what you want about the Trump administration. At least RFK is doing something about it, even though he's facing extremely major backlash for it. At least he's willing to do stuff for it. He changed the food pyramid. He told people about about Tylenol not supposed to be used during pregnancy. I think he got rid of some type of sugar and replaced it with another type of sugar. But he's been doing a lot of these small things in order to help food slowly, get a little more healthier, a little better. And he's also made it so that I think Cheetos are not going to be orange anymore because of the food dyes. He's slowly getting rid of this. And the thing is, it's not perfect, but at least he's doing something. But then the thing is, I don't see any of this coming from a lot of other places. I only see this coming from Make America Healthy Again. They're the only people trying to ensure that diets are back, that students are once again exercising at a certain level, and that like physical health is, I wouldn't say 100% prioritized, but at least thought of in terms of not only like in the government, but as well as like outside of it. And hopefully people follow that messaging because I actually really like it.
For food company evils.
I think
like
Maha
why
is.
is it the why is it are
You don't think so? I mean, they're reevaluating the generally recognized as safe rule. They just changed the food pyramid, which guides. Do you want to talk about that one? It guides hundreds of billions of dollars in subsidies, and now they're mandating.
So Maha is
I'm saying that
focused on the
they're
on
definitely
the
focused
food
on it.
industry.
Sure,
Okay.
part of it.
Okay.
I think
So
there are a lot of people that are focused
you
on
do
big
understand how and why they have significantly more resources than actual body positive activists, right?
I'm saying that they don't have more resources. I'm saying, can you see this issue? What do we do about it?
Well,
Nothing.
Do you think
Nothing, man. She wants her tasty McDonald's. That's the thing.
it's a problem? I think it's a problem.
I think there are a lot of problems. I think one of the problems is the assumption that everything that has to do with food and its lack of health correlates with fatness. Because we are saying body positivity.
Obesity thing again?
Well, no, well,
fine
I'm
with
saying
it.
we are saying body positivity, and body positivity includes all kinds of ways of being in a body, right? Not just body size. It includes all of the things about disability and skin color and hair texture and all.
Dude, I'm surprised no one's kicked her out, to be honest. Because usually these people are in a rush to kick each other out so that the next person can talk. I'm kind of surprised. So good on the people in the crowd, because usually they're a hive mind mob that the moment someone else raises their flag, they do the same
All
thing.
of the things, right? Body positivity. But we really have been coding that in this conversation to talk about body size, right? And you can
Are we
understand.
talking about, okay, I actually didn't think body positivity, to be dead honest with you, I've never interpreted body positivity to be about skin color or
no.
gender ideology.
But some of
I
the
really
people
never
who,
did. I didn't.
But
So
some of the
if
people who
that's- if-
started body positivity and practice it today and talk about the values that
I don't think
have
anybody
meaning for
sees
them.
it that way.
I
That
don't
is
think
not a
that's
part
true.
of the movement. I think the general
All right, here's the thing. If they're going to talk about race or skin color or whatever, I don't mind people having like their specific like race's haircut, you know, like afros or like, what's it called, the frizzy hair or any of that stuff. As long as it doesn't like interfere with your job, it shouldn't be a big deal. That's basically my thought on it. So like a good example is if you're a black girl with an afro at a restaurant, you're gonna need a hairnet or just a girl with long hair or a guy with long hair. You guys are gonna need hairnets. That's just something that is very necessary to the job to ensure, you know, nothing gets past or inside of the food. I 100% agree with that. But if it's like maybe in an office setting, as long as you make it like look, I guess, to whatever standards like they have, like if they have like basic grooming standards, like go nice, don't look like, you know, trash, that's fine. Or if it's a construction site, they most likely won't care if you come in super hairy or with weird stuff. They only care about whether or not you could fucking do the job. So as long as these places, you know, as long as the standards are basic, I'm totally fine with people liking their hair, liking how it looks, and any of that. Like, perfectly fine.
presumption.
The general presumption is that it must focus on weight and weight loss because that's a bigger narrative in the culture than some of the
That
other
is who
stuff.
we are seeing advocate. We're not seeing a person who's black being like, I'm body positive because I'm black. They're generally in a different civil rights movement.
Yep.
So I think that
I'm
discounts
not
the black
seeing-
leadership in this movement, right?
But I'm not saying.
Oh my god. She doesn't get it. But she's not saying that they don't matter. She's basically saying that they aren't the main focal point of the movement. Like, for example, when you talk about feminism and you see dudes there, they're not the main focus of the thing, even though they can be a part of it, but they're not the main group that the thing is advocating for. The same thing with body positivity, which is that they're not the main group that they're advocating for. usually they're advocating for like overweight, obese people. Like generally that is it. But yeah,
It's
let's
an
see.
I'm saying
intersectional movement where we
I
do
very
talk about
rarely
these things.
see
Okay.
people of color simply based on prejudice regarding their skin color using body positivity to make their point. I see them, and like this is a movement. I see people
You
who
see
are
people who have multiple identities that
my God.
include their skin color, their gender
Yes, but the
presentation, their
core
disability,
issue they are
talking about body
addressing
positivity
is what?
related to their
core
body
issue they're
size and
addressing-
those other issues. We had somebody else
I've
earlier
yet
talk
to
about
see
that.
I've never seen it in all the years. Like I've seen active.
I mean,
which
has
you
anybody
started-
else here
hang on,
seen that?
Hang on.
Because-
Which you started, right? Or I'm sorry. The organization that you work for
Yes.
had to do with a gentleman that started this organization because his wife, label it however you would. I don't know what word you guys feel comfortable with.
We've been using fat for 57 years. So
Fat's
you can say
okay to
fat.
use? Okay.
Yes. But see, okay.
Wait a minute. So you can use fat? No. So obese is considered a bad thing, but fat is considered fine? Like, so this lady is technically, oh my God. This lady is technically using the correct word when she said fat bodied at first? Holy shit. That's actually surprising. So I'll get it though. Why is fat fine, but why is obese considered like a bad word, or like what the fuck, bro? I'm just gonna continue. But I like how immediately when that happened, they immediately zoomed into this woman. I love that. I love that.
You are, but listen, Julian, you've positioned yourself as being really, really knowing this movement and really knowing where we're showing up. And it is really, really common for activists and advocates to talk about using fat as
But
a
you can't say
neutral
overweight?
descriptor. We just say fat, right?
Okay, fine.
Because
so this was started by a gentleman whose wife was fat.
Yes.
Who was discriminated against.
Yes.
That's where your part began. Intuitive eating
Yes,
is
that's
a
not
different
how I
animal.
came into it through body positivity,
I understand,
right?
but
Because
that's
we're
how the
mixing a lot of
movement start. If
no,
you really want to
that's how
tell me
my
on the fact
organization
that I am
started.
totally
The
deluded and
movement
that
started
body
with
size or
Black
Bruh.
women and
eating
femmes in
issues.
the civil rights movement, with
think
women, with people at Stonewall who were fat people, with fat performers. That's how the
What's the
movement
through
started.
line though? What's the through line?
What do you mean?
Okay, so people at Stonewall, is it because they were gay or because they were gay and, as you guys say, fat?
Right.
Is it
That's the thing, bro. What the fuck, bro? I hate all this revisionist history because it's like, were they a part of it? Were they not? Because wasn't the main message some other shit?
It was because they were gay, but there were fat people there, and those fat people talked about their fat
hold on,
bodies.
gay
I'm just gonna assume this is like the equivalent of the transgenders basically saying, "Oh, the LGBT movement would be nothing without us," when in actuality, the gays and lesbians were the ones who pretty much did every single part of it and carried the torch. And then now these people are just attaching themselves to the movement and taking credit for everything. I'm gonna assume that that's basically what's happening here.
people are part of the body positivity movement?
A huge part
No,
of
on the merits of just being gay, guys.
No.
That's what I'm. Not
Body-
gay and
defending people's body sovereignty, people's body autonomy, people's right to live freely in their body.
What is
we
the
have
core
different
premise
angles.
of discrimination?
The
it
core-
started with regard to being fat. Am I right? That is what he started your organization
My
for.
organization, yes,
Okay,
but that's not the
healthy
whole
at every
movement.
size.
The beginning
is
of the-
about access for people.
Right, and
who
health at every
are-
size principles talk about intersectionality and multiply
All right, let's go.
marginalized
That is
people.
not how
All right,
the
we
messaging
have to
is
pause
being
there.
put
But
out
it's
now.
Sorry, we have to
important
pause.
piece of the movement.
I'm
Pick
sorry,
her
we got to
up.
pause, guys. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Man, she took up a lot of time. Wait, let me see. Damn. Yeah, they gave her like around 80% of the time. Damn. This is the first time I've ever seen people this actually patient. Holy crap. It's her again. Oh, let me guess. Are you gonna micromanage her language again? Let's see.
So one thing that I want to clarify, I said it on the sidelines, which I know I shouldn't do, but it's health at every size, not healthy at every size. And you've misspoken that just a couple of times. I think it's important just for...
Okay.
They literally say healthy at any size. Like I've heard healthy at any size. I never heard them ever say health at any size.
the audience to know that, because there's a really big distinction there.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And I think it started as health at every size, and I think now it has been co-opted by many or misinterpreted, misutilized. You don't think so? Okay, I've seen very many people say I can be healthy at any size.
Well, I think...
I agree.
I mean, I think that
I've
that
seen
can be...
very many people, and I've debated with very many people who've utilized that point.
Well, I mean, I personally believe you can be healthy at any size.
I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to debate that point because I don't think that that's what we're talking about right now. So I want to come back to when you were saying that, you know, big food is profiting off of the body positivity movement, and that's like a really terrible, bad thing. Okay.
I don't think it's good.
Okay. So what is your...
I personally don't think, the way I see it is, I don't think it's a good thing, but I think the way the political climate is going is the worst part. Because the thing is, if these people were like advocating for healthy foods, ensuring things are well, and like a lot of that other stuff, then what would happen with this movement is a lot of the companies would follow suit with it and start slowly making their foods healthier to accommodate that amount of people that want that. But the thing is, people love sugary foods, so what the movement has done is instead made it so that companies can add more and more sugars, fats, and all that, and then make food unhealthier and more addictive, specifically for that audience. That's what I think, which is that they're just profiting off of the political climate that these activists are creating by being like this irrational.
fear with that? Like, what's the... I want to understand
These
your
guys-
concern.
I don't think we have enough time for me to tell you how deep my concerns are with
Let's
these,
do the
with these guys.
TDRL, the too long didn't read.
I think that they... Okay.
Oh my god. Let me guess. Reddit user. Let me guess. Reddit. It has to be Reddit. Because TLDR, like the majority of the time I hear it said is through Reddit.
Let's go back. God. All right, if we go back to the 70s, or like late 60s, 5% of American adults were obese or overweight, right? Now
Damn.
it's 74%. Like, what happened? Did everybody just have a moral failing? Was it a quantum
changed
leap in
the-
genetics?
they
No, I'm
changed the
being-
BMI
being
overnight.
hypothetical, what I'm trying- No. Look at pictures.
they
Look at
did.
pictures of. It's
That's the thing too. When like if I remember during the 70s, this was a little after JFK died. But basically, after that, JFK did focus on the presidential fitness test. He said like young boys in school were getting fat, and at their time, fat just meant like a little bit overweight. In our time, fat means like people who, you know, kind of look like her, maybe like this guy, but then like someone who's even a little bit obese, like a couple weights obese, they would be like, oh, that's normal. But what happened is that as more people got obese, the standard we set was basically, oh, this standard of obesity is regular. When the thing that changed was basically people just started eating more unhealthy and started being less physical outside.
more than BMI.
Which I
Realize
don't agree with, just
Childhood
FYI to the world
obesity
out there,
did
but-
not even, it wasn't even a thing. Type 2 diabetes used to be called adult.
Yo, I agree. There's too many fat hogs in kindergarten, bro. We gotta get them outside and shit. We gotta get them running and shit. No more hogs in school. And the worst part is, because here's the thing about kids, they grow up and they kind of get impressioned with what, you know, their childhood is. So if you make it so that they have some sort of physical exercise, not only in elementary, but as well as middle and high school, what you're doing is you're setting them up for a future that more likely they're going to be healthy than not. And that's the thing, because if I remember, I think Obama was the one who got rid of the standards. But then, right after that, he got rid of the fitness standards, he got rid of all that shit, and then fat hogs started appearing in school. And then Trump, I think it was like a year ago at this point, they brought it back to JFK's presidential fitness test, which is what he used for schools when he was president. And they brought it back. Primarily, my guess is because of RFK. RFK literally has family connections. But yeah,
onset diabetes. What happened over the last 50 years? And what I'm saying is, I don't think it's a sudden moral failure. I don't think it's because 74% of American adults are lazy and weak and stupid and pathetic. I don't think so at all. No, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I think it's not. I think.
But you do think
when
it's
we
an
look at-
individual's responsibility when they do become in a fat body?
I think in most cases, yes. If you structure your life off of what can I do to make it better, you're more likely to have positive effects over it rather than, oh, society made me this way, or I'm healthy, I'm perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with me. Because there are things that you can say and cater to their emotions that it's perfectly fine, but reality doesn't give a fuck. Reality doesn't give a fuck. If you say, oh, you're perfectly fine eating whatever you want, however much of it you want, and someone eats themselves to death, as I said, reality doesn't give a fuck about it. But these people, no matter how much you cater to their emotions, reality won't change for you.
I think that the system is largely rigged, and 74% of American adults are having a real hard time fighting against it for a host of reasons. Hold on, for a host of reasons. One of those big reasons, one of those huge reasons is big food. And when you look at
But if big food, wait, I want to pause you there, because if I know that you're very big in the MAHA movement, and you're saying they're doing all of this amazing stuff, but then they cut SNAP benefits. And so access to food is such a
Oh, I know what she's talking about. But basically, a few months, what they did was they cut SNAP benefits, but not entirely. They made the requirements that you had to work a certain amount of time to get food stamps, which I fully agree with. And the second thing was they got rid of a lot of unhealthy foods and a lot of really bad foods in order to change it. So what happened was the foods got healthier, the EBT cards that you need to use, to the point where in Florida, what I started seeing was I think it was Chester's hot fries, like literally say, oh, you can use EBT on this, but then a lot of other chips were moved away from that. And the thing is, this is because this is done in a way that incentivizes health. Because my personal problem with food stamps and the healthcare system was always we are paying them to eat unhealthy foods and get fat, but then we're also paying for them to get surgery or health or whatever medical operations or something, medicine, whatever, at the same time. So we're subsidizing a problem we are simultaneously creating by giving them the money to buy whatever unhealthy stuff they want as much as they want. So what you'll see is in America, we have the fattest for poor people. Because usually poor people in a lot of other countries, you'll see them as skinny. You'll see them as starving. But in America, it's the opposite. Usually our poor people are fat and well fed. So the problem I have is if we're going to feed them and take care of their health care, I at least want them to only have access to healthy food. Because if you give them access to sugar, then they're going to eat the sugar, but then they're also going to take the pay that you're paying into the government into going to a health facility to fix the issues that they're causing. That's what I don't like about it, which is that. Because if we're gonna do both at the same time, only healthy food should be allowed for EBT or food stamps. Only healthy food, not a single like sugary or fat food, because it screws everyone else over. Because now we're creating another problem. But yeah, but they can use their own money to obviously buy unhealthy food if they want. The thing is, I just don't want the government subsidizing unhealthy food.
Huge reason for people to be able to have a nutritious diet. So how can you explain that when you're saying that big food is awful, terrible, all of these things, but then still align yourself with the movement that cut billions of dollars to people to get access to food?
Okay, hold on. I'm not saying this movement is perfect, but I would not like to see people what is called nutrition.
I agree. I fully agree. I fully agree with it. Fully agree with it. We were creating a problem that had another problem. That's the thing. And those people, now they have to work a minimum amount of time in order to get food stamps. That's how I prefer it.
assistance, I don't think that's soda and chips and candy. Now, having changed the food pyramid, it's calories, it's not nutrition. I do think changing the food pyramid has now mandated that access to the foods on the food pyramid is going to make it more available, and it's going to take the hundreds of billions of our tax dollars that these guys captured in a subsidy flow. The food pyramid is not about guidance for you, me, you. The food pyramid is about grabbing $600 billion over the past 2 decades to grow ultra-processed food.
Yep.
From the shitty-ass GMO crops that are covered in poison, that then get grabbed by big food and loaded with more poison, and then tinkered with so you quite literally cannot eat just one. I think these guys are the devil. I do. And the depth of my feeling about this, unfortunately, like, this is what I mean. I don't, if we're going to indict someone.
Yeah, this is exactly what I meant. Yeah, sugar, fat, salt, texture can stimulate the brain's reward system. And what that does is make it so that it makes you feel happy in a way. So what some people do when they're depressed is they're going to eat a lot because it makes that part of their brain turn on. And the thing is that they're just stimulating something that is unhealthy.
Like, when you look at intuitive eating, it's awesome in theory. Feel your fullness. You can't. You cannot.
I disagree with that, though.
We're out of time. Thank you.
My next surrounded claim is that the body positivity movement oversimplifies disordered eating and trauma.
All right, whoever wants to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
I'm not going to assume, but I imagine.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. There's a potential she dyed her hair. Oh my god, get ready for a bunch of mental disorders, oh bro.
You have some sort of maybe personal experience with eating disorders or disorder eating?
Definitely as a kid, would overeat. I wouldn't say binge eating disorder, but I would compulsively overeat. I would eat to have a connection with my father. I would eat to feel a sense of comfort. I would eat to feel a sense of control, without question.
And did you feel shame and then go to therapy to work on that, or did you just oversimplify it and then kind of?
I didn't oversimplify. I was 13, 14, and 15, so I didn't have the bandwidth to process what was actually going on. I was in therapy for other things that were going on in my household, and I definitely was helped.
Okay. So I'm glad that you were able to, go to therapy. That's not something that everyone is able to go to. It's a
Oh my god, she's structuring. Oh my god. Okay, she's gonna structure her argument on you have more luxuries than others, therefore they don't have access to what you did. Therefore, none of these people can fix their lives because you're like richer or more privileged than them. I'm gonna assume that's where the argument's going.
It's a luxury and a privilege for a lot of people, especially.
I was right every fucking time, bro. Some of these people are way too easy to predict.
In the United States, I have dealt with an eating disorder since I was 7. That's when it was first realized. It wasn't diagnosed at 7, but it was realized at that point. And my body fluctuated. I'm not going to use numbers because I think there are a lot of people that have disordered eating that use numbers as a metric. And so they'll look at me and I'll say a metric, and then it'll cause someone to have what I like to call a shift in where they are now to where they're going to be down like a rabbit hole of disordered eating behaviors. I think that trauma and eating disorders go hand in hand, but they're not exclusive. There are people that don't necessarily have any trauma, but somehow have developed some sort of eating disorder. My eating disorder was something that I had from a really young age, and then just worsened because of my physical perception around people. But it wasn't something that innately was trauma-based. I am neurodivergent, and it was never diagnosed until I was, almost 30. So. But that's not because of trauma. That's just because of my neurodivergence. That's how my brain is connected. And so sometimes with neurodivergent people, they have eating rituals, eating routines that are rigid. And so that's where mine came from. So to say it's oversimplifying EDs, like body positivity is oversimplifying EDs, oversimplifying trauma. You're taking away the people that that use the body positivity moment to find someone who they can relate to, and so someone that they can connect with that doesn't have the same road that maybe the masses had, but has their same road.
Yeah.
You've been voted out by the majority.
Okay, she got voted out. Oh my god, wait, look at that. She also got like the I don't remember what these are called, but I think these add like 2 inches to your feet to make you a little taller.
Please return to your seat.
Yeah. Who's next? Damn, bro. Damn. Okay, let's go.
Jillian, nice to meet you.
Nice.
I'm not even sure if I should censor this shit, but damn. Okay. But anyways, let's continue. Whoops, I accidentally put closed captions on.
Okay, so the body positivity movement actually got me out of my eating disorder, and if that's okay, I would like to tell you a little bit about it.
Absolutely.
So growing up, I wasn't ever fat. I just have I have large breasts. I have got a condition, basically. I know you're laughing.
I'm laughing because that would be my dream. That's the only reason I'm laughing. I was like, poor you, Summer.
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, poor you. Holy fuck, bro. Yeah, totally. Poor you. Yeah, totally poor. God damn, bro. Damn. If this was Instagram, you would see those guys posting that neuron activation like GIF in all the comments, bro.
Not to try to invalidate how you feel.
That's okay. That's
Sorry,
okay.
go ahead.
So I've got a condition called macromastia. It means that my breasts will just continuously keep growing. So I had to deal with this like my whole childhood, and I got like picked on and bullied and stuff because I was 8 years.
Nah, man. You got bullied by a bunch of bitches, bro. They didn't bully you because they didn't like you or they thought it was weird. They bullied you because they were jealous. That's it. They didn't bully you because they hated you, bro. It was a bunch of jealous little girls mad that you got lucky with something that they wish they had. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Old with like double D's. So no, that's absolutely okay. I went to the doctors and they actually told me that I had to lose weight in order to get a reduction. At this point, I was actually a Scottish size 6.
Let's hold a funeral. Goddamn reduction. Man.
Which is a UK size 2. So like on the bottoms, just obviously not on my top. So this actually drove me into an eating disorder, and I started to starve myself and try and make myself thinner so that my breasts would get smaller, and that never ever happened. Like they just continuously, because it's obviously a condition, so they just kept getting bigger as I was getting smaller and smaller. And it wasn't until obviously the online platform made the body positivity movement more aware to me, and then that really helped me, and it's made me start eating more. It made me start posting more online about my body, and I just think that your claim's a little bit silly.
Can I give you some examples?
Of course, please.
So, while intuitive eating is actually not intended for people with eating disorders, I cannot tell you how many people have misinterpreted that. And I've ended up dealing with it personally for quite some time now. So for example, things like avoid diets where mechanistic eating is actually recommended for people with many different types of eating disorders. And even the women who started intuitive eating suggested that, like, hey, this is a goal, not a treatment plan. But when you've got, random people online who are, hey, just listen to your feelings of fullness. You can't do that when you're anorexic. Your body no longer recognizes those satiety cues. It absolutely shuts it down. And it's, what was it? Listen to your hunger. Like you cannot do that if you have binge eating disorder and you're feeding a deeper hunger. It's the fundamental ways in which things like intuitive eating have been misrepresented by the masses. And of course, I understand what it was intended for, but if you think that the vast majority of these people posting on TikTok have read the frickin' guidelines of mechanistic eating, I think we're both dreaming.
No, I get that, but I think the thing in my head is like, why do you care so much about someone else's body in order to like try and argue against?
Oh, this is the thing. But yeah, why do you care so much? And the thing is, you don't really care about their body in general. What you care about is the fact that those people are advocating for everybody else to live a unhealthy lifestyle, which then makes it so that more people are unhealthy. And rather than like fixing problems that cause horrible medical problems in the end, what you're instead doing is glorifying it, making justifications for it, and then as people either get hurt, more like depressed or whatever, and can't get themselves out of it, you're structuring it as if you're a good person for doing that, which is a load of bullshit. That's kind of the thing, and they'll use that argument, which is why are you so interested in controlling people's bodies? Because it sounds like a bad thing, but it isn't. If your job is a fitness coach, your job is literally to help others control your job is literally related to changing people's bodies. And the same thing if you're a doctor, which is your job is literally telling them, "Hey, what's healthy to make sure your body is in better condition next time." Like that's literally her fucking job, bro.
Against body positivity. Like, say someone's like fat, obese, whatever, walking on the street, that doesn't actually affect you as a person.
Totally right.
So I don't understand why you would feel the need to fight for people that are arguing for that person to feel validated as a person.
I'm not arguing for the person I don't know. However, there are people that do want help, and I think that this can leave them feeling exceptionally confused. There are many that I have tried to personally help that have experienced feeling misled, misguided by some of the, or almost all of the intuitive eating principles, and they're not being educated on that.
But you could
fact.
also argue like the latter.
But there are a lot of people that actually want help, and I care that they get the most.
But I don't think the
efficient
body
help.
positivity movement is like just for obese people, just for people that are drastically need help.
Anorexia is
It's
not
for-
obesity.
So I was anorexic, and the body positivity movement helped me. Do you not think that the body positive movement helps them rather than shaming them? Because that's how they get in that place in the.
I think there are certain facets that help, but as I said, the parasitic people that are a literal cancer are the ones running the circus, which is the problem.
First place, with other people shaming them constantly.
I am not suggesting anyone should be shamed. You're completing two different issues. I don't think
But
that
I
people.
think in one, it's all one issue.
It's not though, sweetheart. You're telling me that you think I think shame is awesome. I don't.
No, I didn't.
I don't.
That didn't come out of
I
my mouth.
think that these tools or things like, oh, you know what? It's society, it's diet culture, it's this, it's that, it's bigotry. No, dude, it's probably the fact that like somebody, God forbid, touched you when you were a kid.
I don't think that's appropriate or even right. In the slightest bit. No one touched me.
No,
And
not you, dude. I'm not talking about you.
I completely get that. And
I'm not talking
also
about you
keep mentioning
personally.
like parents. I have two very loving parents. My parents never made me feel shamed about my body. It was like TV shows like The Biggest Losers. In the UK, we've got Super Size versus Super Skinny. Like, it was all of these TV shows that made me feel like this. It wasn't my parents.
I'm going to suggest that I don't think you would be vulnerable to TV shows.
Why?
If there wasn't a primary injury. Because who cares, buddy? Do you know how much stuff like goes after me personally, or after people of color, or after gay people, or after like
But you have to
everybody?
remember, I'm quite young. So when these came out, I was very young, very.
When I was young, I had people saying they were gonna kill me and fuck my mom in Modern Warfare 3. Bitch, come on. That's not an excuse. Well, then again, she's a girl. She probably hasn't went through the same thing. But anyways, as I said, bro, I was like 8 years old, man. I was 8 years old in the fucking trenches, bro. Bro, those times were fun. If you sounded like a squeaker, bro, you would get bullied the fuck out of. Anyways, let's
very
go back.
impressionable. And I have like adults telling me that my body, because my BMI is higher, I have adults telling me that my body is like, you have to lose weight. to fit in with normal people. Like, you're young when you're
when that
impressionable. And
happens-
for you to be arguing against like body positivity, like, I hope you don't have a daughter, because my little sister,
Oh my god, bro.
like, needs the body positivity movement. I think people need the body positivity movement, because without it, everyone's just going to be looking at other people, judging other people. Like, I'm sure.
You think the body positivity movement is stopping people from being assholes?
No, that's not what I said.
I think you're not right about that.
No, that's
I
not what I
definitely
said
don't
at
think.
all.
You
I
just said you think it stops people from judging other people.
Yeah, well,
no shot that's gonna happen.
They're
It's just not they're gonna
judging
hide it
people
from
on
you.
their size or what they're like.
Of course they are.
They're not though.
Okay, pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
That's okay, thank
Please
you.
return to your seat.
Next. Yo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Lilia. So I think the language there is a little bit tone deaf.
Oh my god. We got another. Oh my god. Literally fucking tone policing, bro. Oh my god. I hope she's not annoying as the blonde chick, but most likely she is. Where she's gonna focus on the language, and the language being the primary factor that she says is harmful to others, which is why you shouldn't do it. Let's see.
Because I actually believe that gym talk, diet culture oversimplifies eating disorders.
Two separate issues, though. Both can be true at the same time.
Both can be true, as in
you could absolutely be making, first of all, gym talk should have nothing to do with eating disorders. So you're right. But it's a separate issue than the claim I'm making.
Dude, the gym is great. Because here's the thing. If you're 400 pounds, and then one day you become like 397 pounds, and you post that shit on Instagram, all the people in the gym are going to be congratulating you and telling you to keep going. They will motivate you. Being in the gym is great, because there always will be like those assholes who are, pieces of shit. But the people that celebrate you like losing weight, like even if it's like, as I said, from 400 to 397, they're the ones who are going to be happy for you and watch your journey, and they're going to be the ones cheering you every single day until you eventually finally reach whatever goal you have, and they will applaud you for it. The gym is one of the best places, especially like a few online gym creators are fucking great. But we also do have the problem of like the OnlyFans girls, like trying to turn the gym into a strip club. We do have that problem. We're shaming them, but there's always that part. But anyway, besides that, a lot of people in the gym, dude, they're freaking cool.
how is it separate?
Well, okay. So you're saying gym talk oversimplifies trauma and eating disorders, right?
Well,
I agree
not
with
just
you.
gym talk, but just the way that our youth, all of us we are all exposed to that. Like, we can't just avoid it. And when
Still
you
a separate
see
issue, though. I'm trying to say that the ways body positivity suggests people deal with body issues and trauma is an oversimplification. And it has to do with things like intuitive eating principles that get misrepresented by influencers.
Okay.
Agree.
I can definitely agree with that.
Well, then, unfortunately,
But I
you and
think-
I are so far on the same page.
Well, no, I think, well, the way I see it is that body positivity is actually the bridge between health experts and anybody else, really.
Explain it.
Because I think that if I go to a doctor, it should be empowering for me to talk about my body.
No, it should not. When you go to a doctor, he says you got cancer. He should tell you that straight up. He shouldn't tell you, oh yes, go queen. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. The doctor should be there telling you what the condition of your body is, how good your health is, whether you have like too much iron in your blood, whether you have too much sugar. They should tell you straight up facts about like whether or not you're in good condition or not, whether or not you're overweight, or whether or not you have like some disorders. Going to the doctor is not gonna be some empowering journey, being like, oh yes, go queen, yes, 355, oh yes, you are perfect, because that type of place, like it's called toxic empathy, and I fucking hate it. It should not be in doctors' offices, and yet you're out here trying to micromanage doctors on their profession, all because you want to feel good about your body rather than taking like actual critical professional help most of the time and taking it seriously.
Of course.
However, when I usually speak to a health expert, it's really not. I'm really more just afraid that they're going to speak to me in a way that degrades my body and makes me feel that shame that you've mentioned. Shame is not a motivator.
Shame is a motivator. If you see all these soft parenting kids, man, like we failed them. We failed them. We need to bring back like shame, a lot of shame.
It really turns people away, whereas the body positivity movement teaches people to have the kind of confidence they need to make choices for themselves.
How's it teaching you that?
When you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm gross.
Hell yeah! That's average guy motivation. It's like, you're ugly, you're a fat piece of shit, you're retarded, you're worthless, you're a useless piece of garbage. Look at you. You're like falling behind. People are better than you. That's usually guy motivation. And then guess what? Most of the time it helps. Problem is, girl motivation's usually like the opposite. It's usually like, oh, you're perfect just the way you are. You don't gotta change anything about yourself. That's usually the part.
I don't deserve to be, alive. To like, some people get to that extent, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, people should not be saying death threats. That is way too far. That is way too far.
Understand.
When you do that to yourself, that is not going to motivate you to then go make the choices that I think we all know are healthy for us.
Totally agree.
Which doesn't.
Then what's the next step, though, dude?
I think that's what we're here
Just
to,
looking in
to
the
speak
mirror
about.
and
I
saying,
think that's what,
actually, I'm healed.
So that's not what body positivity. That's not what body positivity is. Body positivity is promoting the healing of said wounds.
How?
By
where I'm telling you, it's an oversimplification.
It's not, though.
Tell me how. How is it going to heal you, buddy? By looking in the mirror and saying, I no longer think so?
And saying these shameful things to yourself, you already know that it degrades you, and you're
Oh my god, I don't like her. Hopefully she gets kicked off, bro. She sucks.
not going to want to do the things that most
so then
people.
What comes after deciding not to beat yourself up? We're both on the same page there. Now
I
get
think
below the tip of your
we're
iceberg.
seeing different perspectives of the same page, right? And that's why I do believe that body positivity is the bridge that we all need.
Tell me what comes after.
Oh my god, bro.
The moment you decide you're not going to say that shit in the mirror anymore, then what?
Then I should be able to consult health experts that are also body positive towards my body.
Basically what she wants to say is she wants to usurp all health science and like things that actually work into whatever politics she wants, because once it's usurped, she could talk about how good it is doing whatever the fuck she wants without changing herself, which makes her happy, instead of making her change, which is the harder decision but the better decision.
No one's saying not to.
Okay, so tell us who the health experts are that are body positive. Because if I should be able to go to a doctor or
what you want when you say body positivity, what kind of health expert are you looking for? I know a million doctors, and all of them would love to help somebody.
But what is help? Is help saying you need to get your ass in the gym, you need to restrict your eating, whatever.
Tell me what help is for you when you go to that doctor.
That's what I think everybody should have the opportunity and confidence to do, and that's what body positivity is teaching people. It's not teaching people that they're perfect in the mirror and that they don't deserve to have the courage to change.
You still haven't given me a how. All you're telling me is,
I think we all are here to figure out how, because nobody has the answer.
That is not true. Many people have the answer, sweetheart. Psychoanalysts have the answer.
I'm sorry, I don't like to be called sweetheart when we're like debating.
Forgive me.
But
many people have the answer. And
okay, but you believe you have the answer, and you believe that somehow body positivity is not involved in bettering yourself? I just think that's contradictory. I really do.
I don't see how. I think that there are absolutely...
Bro, get this garbage out the airwaves, bro. She actually pissing me off. She actually legit pissing me off.
Experts that have the answer, and it's more than platitudes.
So what
in
is
a
the answer then
mirror.
to you? If it's not
Getting treatment with a
what-
person who's gone to school and specializes in this.
that would be
who
great
will
if you
be
feel
able-
welcomed and comfortable
I'm
in that
confident
person's
that
space.
There are many experts in the world that would welcome,
okay, but
especially ones that specialize in this category of medicine.
But in this category of medicine, if there's not room for body positivity, then you're
I didn't say that's not the claim, is that there's not room. I said it oversimplifies.
It
There's
oversimplifies.
room. It
Are you saying
oversimplifies.
it oversimplifies people's trauma?
No, I'm telling you, it oversimplifies.
Oh my god, yeah, she one of those. She made trauma her entire personality, which has led to her being in a constant state of depression, unhappiness. But this is the only thing she could ever talk about, bro. Oh my god.
The complexity and the depth of these types of disorders, whether it's anorexia, whether it's bulimia, whether it's binge eating disorder, whether somebody is eating, and Summer was not referring to you, somebody's eating because, let's say, they were molested. And now
But you bringing up somebody's like eating because they were molested. I mean, most people, that's not why like necessarily people are eating.
But that's what the claim is about. It is
But-
about the fact that people who have disordered eating and trauma, I think the body positivity movement, with things like intuitive eating specifically, oversimplify and can actually give bad advice.
But the fundamentals
Okay,
of the
pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Thank you.
Please
Thank
return
Oh
to
my
your
god,
seat.
thank god, bro. Oh.
Hi.
I've been on a diet since I was like
Oh my god, bro, I'm scared. Look at that, bro. Dude, that's like 30 pounds of makeup, bro. I think I remember some woman said where if it takes you more than, I think it was like 10 minutes of doing makeup, you're just ugly. But let's see. Let's get this show on the road. She kind of looked like a Kardashian if a Kardashian like ate 3 other Kardashians.
6. You've talked a lot about trauma, being molested, parents, this and that.
Yes.
I've heard of someone mention the BMI. I've heard people use the word obese.
Okay.
So what is your thought on this oversimplification? I think actually the medical industry and a lot of health professionals have oversimplified.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, bro. Yeah, but this is what I mean. It's not that it's oversimplified. It's that she wants her exact like definition of what she considers it to be the only talking point available to everybody else because it allows her to be in a constant state of neglect. And rather than change, she has to. Fuck, I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Sorry if
Let's
that's
continue.
happened to you. I think you're seeing the wrong people. I know a lot of really good people.
But that's also privilege. Of course you know a lot of good people.
Oh my god, oh my god, privilege. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say. I think this girl might be worse than the last one. I actually regret my decision. I want the last one back, bro. I believe this is gonna get really annoying.
Well, you're a rich white woman who's been on television, and I would love to know. Somebody
A lot of
mentioned
them
the
write
show.
books.
Totally.
A lot
I
of
could read a
them-
book. I've read a lot of diet books, Jillian.
Not a diet book.
Or whatever. What kind of book? A self-help book?
Well, I mean, if you're struggling with an eating disorder and you're telling me I have no access to
Well, how do
any
I know if I'm
expert-
struggling with an eating disorder?
Dude, exactly. You have access to the internet. You have access to Amazon. You have access to books. You have access to a lot of stuff. And the thing is that, like, you may not have, like, the most professional or greatest set of help, but you have such a great thing called the internet to the point where after that, you could figure things out on what to do. And you could even figure out exercises specifically for fatter people so that you can start yourself off easily without, like, stressing yourself out too much or hurting yourself in the process.
Where does genetics play into all of this?
Do you want to take on genetics? We can.
Go ahead. Are you a scientist?
Do you think you have to be a scientist to understand?
No, but
the
I
way
haven't heard
genetics
one
work?
comment about where do genetics
Well,
play
that's
in.
that's not the claim. If you want to get into genetics and
Repeat
obesity,
the claim again. First of all, obesity is a very outdated term. It's based on the BMI, which is based on white men.
actually-
in this. Come on, Julian. You could be single-handedly responsible for updating the BMI.
Okay, but we also have waist to hip, and we have DEXA, and we have MRI.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
So
what are the MRI, meaning
you
like
don't
the
even-
machine most fat people don't even fit in?
You have DEXA, and you
I've
have
never
waist
heard
to
of that,
hip.
girl. What's a DEXA?
DEXA
These
scan.
are normal people. We are on TikTok.
Okay, how about waist to hip?
Hold on. There's also been a lot
Waist
of
to
like
hip
blame,
ratio?
sure, waist to hip ratio, but that's also like skeletal and like how do you,
No, waist to hip is not. It has to do with a ratio of your waist to your hips, and it's evidence, sorry to say, of excess visceral fat. That's what it's for. And that's an indicator of obesity.
So obesity, that term, what does that mean to you?
Obesity, it means that you have an unhealthy percentage of body fat.
What is healthy? What is unhealthy? Like, what is the measure of health for human
For
beings?
women, I think it's in the 35 plus percentile.
35+%.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what she's saying basically is for men and women have different body fat percentages that are like healthy. And for women, yeah, it was like 35. For men, I think it was around 15 to 20, but you can get it to 10, but that's when it gets extraordinarily hard. And I think women, I think women, you can get it to 20, but preferably that one's also like really hard. But the thing is, men have more muscle mass and whatever. But that's typically, that's what she's talking about. Where men, if they have, I think it was 15 to 18%, generally they are considered more healthy. But then once you get to like 20, 25, 30, or 40, that's when usually they would consider it obesity.
Of what? By what measure? The DEXA?
35% of your body weight being comprised of body fat.
The thing that I think is most interesting is that you didn't get to earlier.
You didn't ask me earlier.
Well, I haven't gotten there. With someone else. You said, because I'm seeing a very different person than from who we've seen on television. And I think there's been a lot of blame shifting to influencers and TikTok. And the reality is, girl, that's where we're all getting our info now. I've never seen a full episode of The Biggest Loser because my parents told me to watch it and I said, all the way off.
Right, but you have no rage at your parents whatsoever, right?
Oh, well, I'm not fat because of the rage at my
all the way
parents.
off? That doesn't sound like a primary wound telling your parents to all the way
But
off.
the
Is that
primary-
not evidence of what I'm saying?
Totally. Primary wound plus genetics plus whatever choices I make in my life is what
can
you're
I
seeing
ask you
now.
something? Pick the argument we want to have. Do you want to have the debate?
I want
Do
to
you
hear who
discuss
you are on the
genetics?
show, who that person is and was,
Okay.
and who this person is now, because
Same
I'm seeing
person. It's not at all. Can I say something? You just told me you never watched an episode of Biggest
Oh, but
Loser.
I've seen TikTok clips. I saw the documentary. I mean,
have
who
you
hasn't?
have you ever seen a full episode? Let's say with one of my contestants like Abby Wright.
Tell me about
or
the
Michelle
show. Tell me
Aguilar.
whatever. Tell me who you were on the show. Tell me where that Jillian Michaels. Because to be
I will,
honest,
but you
we've
gotta
all
let me talk.
Sure, for it.
Okay, I'm the exact same person that you see now. Now, of course, yes, you would see parts of what I was doing. You would never see the entire picture of what I was doing, and you would never understand why I was doing it. So let me address the part that you're thinking of, okay? I had a contestant, 500 pounds.
Damn.
This contestant in particular had an exceptionally traumatic background. Can I tell you about it, or you don't care? Okay. So her mother was a prostitute.
A sex worker, we say now.
Tone policing. Sex worker. Shut the fuck up, bitch. She's trying to tell you a story.
Her mother was a sex worker, if that makes you feel
Sex
safer.
work is real work.
Okay.
No, it's not, bro. It's spreading your legs on the internet for a bunch of usually desperate men who usually are either married and their wives don't do anything with them, or young men who were teenagers all their lives with porn addiction, and then once they got bank accounts or whatever, they started paying for that shit. That's the thing.
That's a separate debate, and I'm not.
It ain't real work. It's the easiest job on the market, and a lot of these hoes, a lot of women, to be honest, they don't make enough money to survive off of it. But there are this specific few that they'll get 20 million, 10 million, 100 million, 80 million, in a single day or so. those are rare exceptions. Usually they become popular on social media, and once they hit the age of 18, bro, it's over. Like, I think it was, wasn't it Sophie Rain who, I think it was her. I think it was her, but like, she talked about it, and then a bunch of like desperate men immediately got her thing. And yeah, whether or not you think, I think both sides are bad. I think the women are mostly at fault for like literally putting that stuff out there, and like, you know, advertising it and commercializing it to everybody else. And I think those men are also disgusting, because it's like you could literally get better for free, but you're adding to a market that literally makes a bunch of women result in, instead of getting jobs or careers or something that is beneficial to society, they instead whore themselves out, which is the same tactic like women used in 200 BC, in the 1400s, in the 1800s, and now the only thing is they did it in various different ways, and once again, now it's being done online. The world's oldest profession.
Let's stay on point. Let's stay on point before we get into all the woke ideology. So, having said that, the contestant named Shay, her mother used to sleep with men for heroin while she was locked in a closet.
Yeah, that sounds horrific.
And she's gonna go home. Based on the percentages. I didn't make the game, not a producer. Very publicly had issues with the name and the gamification. So I don't want her to go home. And certain things need to happen before I feel, and I have seen, that there would be any hope of her being able to live past 40 years old. And she has all of the things, type 2 diabetes, the beginnings of chronic kidney disease, arterial plaque, all.
Oh yeah, that sounds bad. That's one of those cases where their health is so bad, you have to accommodate them, but at the same time, you can't just go easy on them. You have to go like basically fast, because at the point they are at, they are like facing lifelong, either, you know, lifelong altering decisions at best, or at worst, potential death.
All the things that are legitimately alarming. So I can't get her on this freaking ladder. It's day one. Can't get her on for 15 seconds. Tried everything. Cannot get her on this ladder for 15 seconds. And we're playing this out and we're playing it out, not getting anywhere. Because the story is, I'm weak, I'm fat, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that, all the internalized shame. And at that moment, I pretty much tried everything. What you don't see is this has gone on for about 4 hours and I can't get her on the freaking ladder. She comes in the room and I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm like, God damn it, get on this freaking ladder. I swear to God, get on the ladder or you're gonna go home. Get on the freaking ladder. Going crazy. And I'm utilizing her fear of me, quite honestly, to circumvent the story that she thinks is true. Long story short, she gets on the ladder, she climbs 15 seconds. I show up the next day. She's like, I got back on the ladder for 15 minutes last night. I was like,
hell
awesome,
yeah.
Dude. And she ended up losing.
Hell yeah, based as fuck. How many pounds? Let me see that.
Like, that's awesome, dude. And she ended up losing 300 pounds. So you may not agree with it, but it worked for me and it worked for Shay in that moment. You don't know why I'm doing it. You don't understand that it's a life or death intervention on a ticking clock. You don't understand all the other things I've tried. So I kind of don't care what you guys think.
How much of her weight did she gain back?
She gained.
Oh my God, this type of thing. Oh, well, how much of her weight she gained back? Because obviously everyone who tries to lose weight gains it back, and then it's useless. And then after that, they never fix anything.
Well, good one.
Because 95% of diets don't work.
Not my contestants. 35% of them kept the weight off, which is actually exceptional. And I could give you all the names. If 5% are able to keep it off, there are obviously a host, a myriad of reasons as to why that's the case. But if I had a 35% success rate, can you at least concede that maybe I'm doing a little bit better than the norm, than the baseline.
I can agree that the number one celebrity trainer in the entire world has a success rate. That I can concede
You
to.
said keep it off. They kept it off. I got the weight off.
30% of people that went on a public TV show.
All right, we got to pause there. We are out of time.
My final surrounded claim is that the body positivity movement is fundamentally disempowering.
If you want to be the next
Agree.
debater,
Agree. It teaches you to be a victim. It teaches you to never do anything. And worst of all, it teaches you that, like, you are worthless. You can never do anything to fix your life. You can never do anything to make anything better. And that is fundamentally horrible because it's basically misery loves company, where other people love keeping you down and keeping themselves down because it makes them feel better about themselves because, hey, they might be ashamed of their life, but you're also ashamed of your life. And the thing is, once you try to leave groups like this, they will like try to pull you down and demonize you every step of the way to bring you back. And this is the big problem I see with them.
please get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Damn. Bro got the leather
Hi,
jacket.
Nice to meet you. Hi, Zane.
What form or what do you mean it's disempowering?
Okay. Well, I perceive it as follows. First, it's externalized shame, as opposed to appreciating that this is something that does arise within. And if you'll hear me all the way out, I think I can illustrate that for many, it is actually a choice, which I know sounds shocking to you, but just stay with me. So it externalizes it first, and then it invalidates it right off the top, right? It's bad, it's evil, it's this, it's that, instead of like, what can we explore, what can we learn here? And then it replaces it with things that I think are platitudes and really difficult to believe. Like, oh no, I'm perfect, I'm beautiful, this, that, but it's not so easy to just believe those things. There's a lot of work that comes along with believing those things. So it can feel like gaslighting. And then the last thing is like anybody who tells you otherwise gets framed as a victimizer. And concern can be shut down where I think it might be necessarily appropriate.
Yep.
So the way I would handle shame would be very different than the way I perceive.
Yeah, the way you handle shame is think about it critically, and then afterward, think about whether it's constructive or not, and that's how you should be doing it, rather than all shame is basically bad and you must like hate it or not like take it seriously.
The movement handling shame, and the same with acceptance. I think acceptance is key, but when I look at acceptance in terms of helping people, I like the serenity prayer best when it comes to Alcoholics Anonymous, right? So it's, God, give me the strength to accept what I cannot change, right? Give me the courage to change the stuff I can, and give me the wisdom to know the difference. I don't see 2 and 3 in the movement, but if you can illustrate it for me.
Yeah, I like to kind of like just share my personal story.
Please.
And I do want to share, and I think it's important that at my biggest, I was 335, which, you know, that's my story. And body positivity has given me the confidence to, in my opinion, appropriately lose weight because I've lost 80 pounds.
That's amazing.
I don't think you have to do that. That's, you know, a personal choice. I think it's all about body sovereignty, more about not just losing weight. It's about what fits in your body, what are the best health choices for you specifically. It's different for everyone. Everyone has different goals. If it's building muscle or losing fat, or also just increasing their mobility. I mean, I go to Pilates and yoga, and it's great for those kind of things. It's super fun. But I think for me, that body positivity was the one thing that really helped me feel comfortable in my body. And what I can say is, and I see body positivity as, of course, you know, just welcoming who you are, accepting your body. And because I was able to do that, I was able to, you know, identify what I wanted to do with my body, and that was to lose weight. Again, not something that you have to do. And I did it in a way where I appreciated myself. I appreciated my body rather than this inspiration of hatred. I think there's some people that are inspired by the hatred of their body, and that they'll lose weight even at a...
Yo, that's people like me. Anytime I'm not good at something, I'll be talking shit. Oh, I don't know too much about this. I'm gonna learn it right now, or else I'm a bitch. At least my way. I really like negative motivation, at least that way. I know everyone's different, but that's my preferred method.
Rapid pace, losing like 30, 40 pounds a month, which we know is not healthy. You know, sometimes
Depends
like
on how you lose
losing
it,
like,
yes.
yeah,
For
right.
the
like,
average person,
even,
yes,
like,
I agree.
I think people agree that, or I've seen like, you know, 5 to 8 or 10 pounds a month is kind of what you want to do in a healthy like a way to lose weight. And I think sometimes if you're doing too much, that's when it can
not realistic.
It can become unsustainable if that can
Absolutely.
happen. So that's kind of what I would say. And because body positivity was such a gateway for me to accept my body, that's how I think it's so.
Okay, I'm gonna straight up say this. I actually like this guy. He's not like the other ones, so he's making a lot more logical sense, and he obviously it helped him in a good way. And so far I respect this.
So appropriate and just so amazing for people who, and like you said, they are doing the work. Maybe not necessarily physically, but I think that there is a mental component they have to address, because without that mental component or that mental work you're doing, again, maybe they're just exercising or losing weight or whatever it is, or changing their body, altering it out of shame rather than,
My concern is that when I've worked with people who are obese or overweight, they don't appreciate, they feel victimized. And by the way, they have been victimized at one point or another in their lives. But if I cannot show them that where they are now is ultimately their own choosing, then they're fundamentally disempowered to make a different choice. So hear me out on shame for a second.
I fully agree.
So the movement is like, diet culture does this to me. And, pick I have a whole list of stuff that, beauty standards does this to me, media does this to me, all these different things do this to you. To me, that is a screen, it's a projection for when you actually first felt unloved, unsupported, not validated, right? And it's so much easier to say, like, Victoria's Secret is mean, instead of my mother never came to any of my sporting events. My father was an alcoholic who never showed up for me. All of these different primal wounds that occur when we're making about this shit on the outside. Who gives a fuck about Victoria's Secret, dude? So then on top of that, right, what I think most people don't appreciate is that we end up choosing shame, not consciously. Have you ever heard the quote, "I'd rather be a sinner in a world with a God than a saint in a world without one"? So in this analogy, the sinner is the child and God is the parent.
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please.
Bro, he was good. Man, this is L crowd, man. You guys suck. You guys goddamn suck. Hopefully I don't get someone bad.
So wonderful.
Okay, it was a pleasure.
I like
Thank
that.
you for
I like that guy. I really like that guy. He got a W from me. He got a W. I respect him.
sharing your story.
Oh.
Hi, Solstice.
Hi, lovely to meet you.
You too.
Okay, let's get started. Okay. Whew. I'm a little terrified, but maybe it won't turn out to be as bad as I think.
So you said something about it being inherently disempowering because you don't believe you can make changes, right? Am I paraphrasing?
No, I'm suggesting that there is no framework. There's no, now that we've accepted where we are today, what can we take responsibility for and how can we take action?
I like that.
Sure. So are you familiar, you brought up a quote of your own. Are you familiar with the quote, "To those accustomed to privilege, equality can feel like oppression"?
Oh my God. Let me guess. She's gonna say, "Oh, well, actually, you have privilege, therefore oppression," or whatever. I hope she doesn't use it in the wrong context, because a lot of people fuck this up because they don't know how much privilege they have, and then out of nowhere, when equality comes in, they get mad about it. Let's see if she uses it in the right context. Oh wait, also real quickly. Why the fuck are you choking yourself? Like, why? Like, there's no reason for this. There is no reason to choke yourself out. Like, look at this. This piece of jewelry almost doesn't fit you, and then this one, like, it looks like a zip tie, just like on your neck, and like, and that might cause breathing problems. And then these ones obviously fit her a lot better, but this one in specific, it ain't looking too good. You might want to like take this one permanently off. Because I don't think it's helping you out.
Are you familiar with the quote, "To those accustomed to privilege, equality can feel like oppression"? Do you understand how weight is interactive and intersectional with all these other identities? When somebody is a fat person, it intersects with other aspects of the world that have marginalized them.
Give me examples.
example of a person or?
No. Of how you're feeling, in ways you feel marginalized.
Me?
And who are you speaking for?
Yeah.
Anyone. I don't think it's about a specific person. I think when you say that it is important to take responsibility for what you can change, you seem to have acknowledged that at the beginning, at that first stage of acceptance or of understanding, that you're trying to acknowledge that you can't hate yourself into a version of yourself that you can love.
No, not really, no.
You can.
But what I do think,
I mean, you can.
I do think that when you are feeling pain or shame, it is a signal to explore. I do
Absolutely.
think that.
And I appreciate that you're coming at this from a place that involves the mental health as well. It sounds like you would be pro-therapy and pro-understanding where these roots come.
Here, therapy. I'll give you guys my take, which is I'm not against therapy. The thing I hate is therapists that this is how therapy was basically weaponized in a way that is negative, where people, because they get therapists they don't like, they immediately leave them and then keep switching therapists until they find ones that all they do is say, oh, you're doing the right thing, or they diagnose other people that aren't their patient, or they basically gas them up and tell them, yeah, right, girl, do whatever you want. This is right. The world screwed you over. He screwed you over. Nothing's your fault. I hate therapists like that because in a lot of cases, a lot of people would rather hear exactly what they want rather than get constructive criticism from a therapist who's actually doing their job correctly. And that job is telling you that, hey, these are things you can improve yourself. And hey, that we can get over this trauma, but this is going to be hard. So a lot of people would rather prefer the opposite, which is catering to you and telling you exactly what you want to hear.
Yes.
But again, you can't change yourself. You can't go into changing yourself from the expectation that that will make you feel better about anything. And I don't think that our choices to make changes about ourselves reflect more self-love necessarily. They can. Okay. I think if you choose to take
so I don't interrupt you. Please continue.
If you are choosing to take care of yourself, that comes from something within you that feels good for your body.
Okay.
And so the body positivity movement to me is not inherently about, it's not about taking, diet culture and just saying that is the root of all evil. It amplifies the ways that we have been harmed and feel shame inside. It is a harmful thing that actively causes pain.
Talk to me about what you would like to see change.
Diet culture eradicated.
It's not going to, though. But
Oh my god. This thing I meant, where she basically is the type that I said it was also a Cancer, which is that they want to destroy everything in reality because she wants whatever she approves of to be the standard, and what any opposing opinions are to be destroyed because only her opinion matters and nothing you can do will change her opinion on that.
And here's the thing.
Okay.
Hear me. It's just not. This is the world we live in, right?
So you think that's acceptable? We also live in a world of racism and homophobia. I don't understand.
But all the more to.
Here's the thing about racism and homophobia. It's probably never going to stop. There's a difference between a society that tries its best to minimize it, but at the same time, it's something that inherently will not stop just because you want it to stop. Some people will be that way, some people won't be that way, and then some people perceive any form of criticism against another group when it's true as racism, and then it all gets skewed into this set of things that I personally don't like.
My point, right? So think of it as follows. I would say there are probably millions of people that hate me. I get death threats all the time.
Dude, that is common, yeah. It's just because once you say things people don't like, they immediately go on to that instead of fixing themselves, and then it's bad. And then this culture has been festering for years upon years upon years, and especially in certain communities where they gas each other up and all do the same thing.
Oh, well. It is what, but wait, just
so
hear me
that
out,
is
just
the
hear me
same,
out.
what you saying there is acceptance.
Let me finish my thought. What I'm telling you is that I don't define my worth on the ways in which external.
Absolutely.
Okay,
No, fully agree with you there.
Because I can't change that. I can change how I respond to it. I can change how I feel about it. But you are trying to change the world Because something
I think the world needs to be changed.
And it does, but we can't rely on that for your feeling of well-being.
You're right, but we shouldn't rely on validation that we are thin enough either.
Who's relying on that?
Plenty of people.
Do you realize 74% of the country is overweight or obese?
All right, pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Next. Oh, it's her again.
I'm curious about what your definition of body positivity is, because you're talking about shame and you're talking about personal feelings and emotion, and I have a little bit different of a definition of body positivity.
Some of yours.
So when I think about the body positivity movement, I actually think about its roots in the fat rights movement, which is where I work.
In the 60s,
right?
yeah.
In the 60s, I run NAFA, which is a fat organization that was founded in the 60s.
About it.
And when I think about the folks who have been using that terminology since the 70s, 80s, 90s, not just the people who kind of popped up using it on Instagram and Tumblr in the 2000s, but that it has this long, long history. That long history is actually about body justice.
I know.
It's not just about individual feelings. It's not just about, my mother-in-law said something to me at dinner, or this guy didn't want to date me because I was fat. It's actually also about things like, do I have access to healthcare? Weight neutral health.
Yeah, oh my God, this is the thing too, which is that, as I said, because of the diet thing, then they go on to have bad health issues, which results from the way that they eat, but they don't want to fix the eating, but they want the healthcare to like basically fix everything, but it's impossible because you have to do something yourself in order for it to work on you. And that is the problem. But let's see where you're going with this.
Care that actually treats my symptoms, not just my body, right? Do I have access to equal pay? Do I have
yes, you do. All pay, when they took into account all pay in America, it was basically like women pretty much make exactly the same as men. I know she's gonna say that like what was it, like 67 cents per dollar thing that's been like, disproven like a billion fucking times. But basically, she's referring to that study where a bunch of feminists put a bunch of things together that had almost no correlation, like that men do more dangerous jobs, are willing to work harder hours, are willing to work harder jobs, and are willing to work jobs where there are less people at, as well as relocating, which makes it so that men in general as a group make more money than women. So then they put all of that together and we're like discrimination, instead of looking at individual like workplaces and then doing it based off of, does the man in a computer with the same job title name get paid the same as the woman in the computer with the same job title name? And that's the problems with that research, but it's been disproven for like the past 10 years. I'm surprised we're even still talking about this, but it keeps coming up.
Accommodations for the body that I'm in right now, 100%. Not the body that I might be in someday. And so I think about these systemic disenfranchisements and discriminations that happen to people, especially people in larger bodies.
Yep.
And when I want to embrace body positivity, it's more than just that personal self-esteem piece.
Right.
But what you seem to be talking about is the personal self-esteem
Not
piece.
true. That's not just what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to disagree with you on any of what you just said. I'm well aware of where this started, and it was, I think, a gentleman that was pretty upset about how his wife was being treated, right? And he started it.
Glad you know that origin story.
I do know a lot about it. In my opinion, there's no question it has been co-opted. And when the vast majority of your TikTok influencers don't know the origin of your story, and those messages are communicated in 15-second memes, then you own meme consequences. And that's where I take umbrage with it. And it's become this amalgamation of rolling up different movements along the decades. So we can't be like, well, I'm gonna carve out the part that's the rights piece and forget, don't look over here. I look at it in its entirety, and there are parts of it that I take umbrage with.
That's how I feel about the health and wellness industry, right?
That's
I look
fair.
at it in its entirety.
That's
there
fair.
are parts that I take umbrage with. And we know when you introduced yourself, you talked about being a health advocate. Does your advocacy include making sure that people are not discriminated against?
Without question.
So how
I
do
would
you
never
do that for
advocate
people
for
in
that.
larger bodies?
Well,
Here's the thing. So everyone already makes doors, places, and stuff. Like pretty much like anyone can enter. The problem I said I had with it was when you're gonna take up 2 airplane seats or you can barely fit into the door, that's where the problem is, because a lot of the cases, these people are the ones overeating to the point where they make themselves unaccountable for spaces and stuff, and they should pay more because a regular person can fit in a regular seat, but if you can't, that's your fault and that's your responsibility.
Personally, I don't get involved in that kind of policy outside of what I do in relationship to big agriculture, big food, big pharma, and big insurance. That's my primary focus when it comes to policy. To be dead honest, I think you probably do a better job in this area than I do. But I would never, ever disagree with you here. I would cooperate with you in any way you ask me to.
So would you say that it should be against the law to discriminate against people based on their body size?
Unquestionably.
So why don't we see more fitness and wellness advocates asking for that?
I'm happy to ask for it. Ask for it.
As I said, like, if a certain job has certain fitness standards, I don't want them lowered just because a person can't meet them. And this is another problem I have with the fat body movement, which is if you see a cop who is 300 pounds and there's a criminal, right, and he needs to go there, he is not getting there, and he is like, the other guy's obviously going to outrun him, and it'll get to the point where his job is literally being detrimented by him being that overweight. And the same thing happens with a lot of these other things, which is you need physical fitness for. Like, if you work in an office, that's fine. Like, if you work at some places, that's fine. But if you work anywhere physical, minimum physical standards are needed, or else you're going to be a giant detriment to the job that has to be overly accommodated for, and then you're a huge risk in lawsuits and everything.
Right now, I didn't know that you thought I wasn't for it. Of course I feel that way.
Well, I didn't know your personal view on the laws specifically or public policy specifically in this particular civil rights way, but certainly, would you agree with me that your industry is not like, we don't see a bunch of fitness professionals coming out and being like, hey, we should actually talk more about the way that people are discriminated against, instead of, hey, we should actually talk about how those people should lose weight if they don't want to be discriminated
Absolutely
against.
fair point.
Thank you.
Right.
Will you contact your representative and say it to them?
Right, you're looking at her. I'm right here. I'll help, girl.
Y'all heard it right here. Jillian Michaels said, I will contact my representatives.
Girl, I'm right here.
In
I'll give you my
support
cell
of.
phone.
All right,
Let's
pause.
do it.
Tigress has won
course I would.
her section of
Tigress
the
has
debate.
won!
Hell yeah. Oh.
Hi, my name is Rachel.
Oh, it's this girl. So let's see what she has, because she's obviously the super skinny girl, so let's see what she's gonna say. But she do kind of look hippie-like.
Nice to meet you, Rachel.
A little bit of background on me first. I'm a personal trainer. I would consider myself a advocate for the body positivity
Little scared by this.
movement. Not particularly an activist, but somebody who supports all bodies being in the fitness industry. But then we're talking about shame. So
I'm trying to show you
Shame is a motivator.
why somebody would choose to internalize a lack of worth, which results in toxic shame. So real quick, healthy shame is if I acted like a douche to one of you, and I went home tonight and I was like, oh God, I was feeling insecure, I was feeling overwhelmed, I acted like an asshole. I regret that. How can I change that next time? That's gonna be something very different. Just wait, just hold on. Okay, then something toxic shame, you're bad. Not the thing you did could improve, not being analytical and exploring your behavior and agreeing to change it. So toxic shame is the internalization of not being good enough, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to illustrate is that many of the people who end up in that position feeling that way have chosen that feeling because it is safer than accepting you were primally abandoned as a kid. So the idea is that if you can be better, then you'll get what you need. If I'm externalizing shame on shit like diet culture, this origin wound never gets healed. And if I don't accept that it wasn't them who did this to me, if I can say, wow, I let this defense structure build inside of me to protect myself at a time when it meant my psychological survival, but now this is no longer serving me I think that's a better way to work it through.
Okay. How did we go from the word body positivity to shame? This is an umbrella that we're looking at. We're talking about diet culture, which is like such like a micro point in the movement. Like, we're not just talking about big bodies, we're talking about all bodies. So
all bodies don't feel shame.
But shame, I mean,
it is a core
but
tenet
we're talking
of the
about
movement.
Have you ever felt shame?
Of course.
Shame is not size exclusive.
I didn't say it was.
But then why is a movement that was created to make people feel better about the body
How
that
does
they're
it do
in?
that? Tell me. You don't think it has a protocol for addressing shame? It's pretty explicit.
No, but have you ever been in a bigger body?
Yeah, I was 175 pounds at 13, 5 feet tall.
Okay. I also was overweight previously. Like, when everybody is telling you that you are not good the way that you are, like, you have to like love yourself. You have to invite love into the space.
How?
By looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, I'm beautiful.
It's not gonna work, kid.
It does
That's
work.
an SNL skit.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
How it's positive affirmations. Like, we're like, no, this is like real. Like, how we
Positive
speak.
affirmation
how we
is like
speak
dealing with a bullet wound with a Band-Aid.
Okay. But you have to speak to yourself with love. Exercise can be a very shameful thing for people in a bigger body where they already don't feel invited
Conflating
into
two
the
different
space.
issues.
No, but it's I brought up body positivity and you brought up shame.
Shame is how shame is dealt with is an integral part of the body positivity movement. You're saying it's not?
How shame is dealt
with? How people manage their shame. It's externalized and then it's invalidated. And
That same form of what you call shame, I call self-love. And that same
What am I
feeling.
calling shame?
You're calling the feeling of feeling uncomfortable in the size of your body shame.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that the movement suggests you address shame by externalizing it. Diet culture made me feel this way. Capitalism made me feel this way.
Not diet culture. Bye-bye. Body positivity. I'm a woman with a baby. I am 6 months postpartum.
Okay.
Body positivity is for me too. I have loose skin on my stomach. I don't look the
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, where like the loose skin on the stomach thing. I'm fine with that aspect of it. Damn, I can't believe it actually was brought up. I thought it wasn't. Oh yeah.
same as I did before I had a child. I gained 70 pounds and had to work to lose it because that was my choice.
Oh yeah, here's the thing. About childbirth, a good thing for childbirth is doing exercise, specifically ones that are safe when you're pregnant, because it actually really helps during the childbirth process by making it easier, less painful, and by making sure that you lose less energy. Like, you will obviously lose mobility and you can't do certain exercises, but there are special exercises made specifically for pregnant women.
And I wanted to move my body to feel better. So body positivity is not diet culture. There's like more bodies that fit into this umbrella that you're talking about than just like, oh, big people. Oh,
I'm not saying that there aren't.
Then what is this diet? Like, why diet culture? Like, why is that the first thing that rings your bell? Like, when you think of that?
It's not the first thing that rings my bell, but what I'm suggesting is that very often.
What's the first thing you think of?
What's the
when you
first?
think of body
Gosh,
positivity?
there's many different pieces to this patchwork
What's the first
quilt.
thing you think of when you think of?
Honestly,
is it the word fat?
I think no.
Then what is it?
I think of people who have been really hurt, rejecting the things that they have felt rejected by.
Almost over.
All right, pause. We're out of time. Please return to your seat.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a
Okay,
second
Julian,
commercial.
great job. Great job, everybody, so far. We have 10 minutes for one final debater, so look around the room and select somebody who you would like to spend.
Master debater. Okay, let me see. I like this guy. I think she might pick her because they did come to an agreement. To be honest, because the rest of them either didn't have that much time or like a couple of them were never there. So let's see what she picks. But I would prefer out of all of them either this guy or her, because I think she had the most constructive talk with them. But let's see.
In that last 10 minutes with somebody maybe who you think you haven't finished the conversation with, or you think they challenged you in a way that you want to keep moving.
I want to talk about the genetics piece. Yeah. Okay.
My
Oh,
surrounded
no.
claim is
Oh no, bro. Why? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Oh man, she picked one I didn't like, but you know what? It's gonna be interesting.
that shame is far more dangerous than body positivity.
That is fucking false.
I don't disagree with you. I disagree with how it handles shame.
Let's talk about the show.
Okay.
Tell me more about your, I guess, tactics or who Julian Michaels is to the world.
I can't describe who Julian Michaels is to the world. I'm something to everybody. To some people, I'm a hero that saved their life, which I never, listen.
35% of people.
Hold on. I disown that completely. It's not my accomplishment. It's a projection, right? Of I know you guys don't like this talk, but it is a projection of the good mommy. I'm not that. I'm also the bad mommy. I'm the evil person that made them overweight and I did this to them. I'm all these things to all these people. Who's Jillian Michaels? I mean, I'm 5'2". I spend a lot of money on laser hair removal. I got 2 kids. I mean,
how do you raise your kids? You use fear and shame to raise them?
I mean, to a certain extent, you got to. Look at what soft parenting has given us. Sometimes kids need spankings. I'm just saying.
Does it seem like I use?
But here's the thing: your kids should respect you more than fear you, basically. Because if your kids fear you, like there's a huge problem. Like respect is when they obviously eat what you make for them. They obviously like being around you, but they respect you enough not to do some stupid bullshit. That's basically what I mean.
Fear and shame to raise them.
Yeah, because you talk about using fear and shame.
I don't talk about, first of all, that is a life or death intervention on a ticking clock.
But
Biggest
do you
loser.
look at
That's
me and
not
see a life or
parenthood.
death need for an intervention right now? Be honest.
Yeah.
Yes.
You might.
I do. We don't have a ticking clock, which means that if you chose to reach out to me
We're
to
all on a
maybe
ticking
work on,
clock.
not in the way that you go home in a week, dude. In the way that I get 6 days to try to figure out, to try to help you.
Okay, so
That's
you're back
very
to the
different.
show now, the ticking clock.
I thought we were
being
talking
is-
about, well, you're
Sure.
asking me about fear, and I'm telling you that parenting and Biggest Loser, there's no parallel.
Okay, so shame.
Okay.
Shaming someone. So like,
I didn't say it's okay to shame someone. I'm telling you that the utilization of these emotions, I'm telling you that shame is a signal. It's telling you, hey, look over here. This here, so.
But shame from the world. Like any shame I've felt from, okay, we'll start here.
Shame
Any
from the
sh-
world. You're externalizing shame, which is
No, no.
exactly what I don't agree with.
And you're saying that I've externalized it by
No.
carrying it on my
You're-
body
you
as
ju-
well.
No, I'm saying when
That's a
you-
little bit of what you said
No,
earlier about the
no,
trauma is
hold on.
externalized.
Well, that would be utilizing your body as a container to manage emotions, if we're talking about in this particular instance.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you an example of that, but, or not. So I'm not talking about shaming someone. I fundamentally disagree with that concept. I'm talking about the shame that is already there, not externalizing it. I'm talking about appreciating the fact that, like, okay, this is arising from within me. Where is this coming from and why? If we, instead of going, oh, I think I'm ashamed because of what they did or what they told me or what they, now listen, people are absolutely at one point or another, very often victims. However, how we choose to respond to that injury, okay, at one time absolutely meant your psychological survival. It is how you survived that injury. The problem is it perpetuates and it no longer serves. But if we continue to repeat the pattern, it's actually called, has a name, it's called a repetition compulsion. And the goal, right, is I will master this. I will play this out. It's safer to play it out externally than where those feelings really belong, because that's painful. It's also safer because you don't have to suffer the primal loss of whatever was missing. So now, can I give you an example? I'm a shitty parent. We talked about this, but just follow me, right? I'm a shitty parent. I'm not there for you. Okay, instead of you saying, oh my God, my mom was never available. I didn't get what I needed. And there's there's
Peoples that feel that way.
okay. We then internalize that and go, it must be because I'm not good enough. hence the sinner part, okay? Not because mommy is unavailable due to her own limitations. Instead, it gets internalized, and that is what becomes toxic shame. What is the primal injury that begot this emotion? And subsequently, how do I deal with it where it's appropriate? Meaning the right, like not Victoria's Secret, okay? The primal wound. And then in experiencing that loss, feeling those feelings, which really sucks and really hurts, which is why people have defense structures, coping mechanisms, so on and so forth. The way through that, you feel it, and then after you grieve it, after you explore it, then we can implement
a weight release.
No,
Oh, my trauma.
No,
Why you do that, bro? Bro. That was so random. Oh my god. What the fuck? Bro, she just moaned out of nowhere. Okay, whatever.
Released it, and therefore then I will be thin.
A perspective shift and a behavior change.
Yes, of course. I've been desperate my entire life to change my behaviors and shift my this and change my eating and buy Factor and go on this diet and sign up for the trainer and go to the gym and do the thing and pay thousands of dollars and get the Peloton and go to SoulCycle.
But that's all surface stuff, dude.
Sure, but the shame never came from myself.
I know.
The shame is
but
external
you-
factors, and
hold
that
on.
is why
Remember
we
when you
turn
said to me
to body
earlier?
positivity.
Remember when you said to me earlier, "Fuck my parents."
Okay, I didn't say it like that. Mommy's
Girl.
watching. Me and
Oh my
mommy's
God.
watching. But here, let's talk about the parental wound. I'll tell you how my parent was wounded. Want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I feel like you are saying, Maha, Maga, it's too close. I think they should have picked a different name. We can work on that. But my thing is that
Here's the thing. She's zooming in on MAGA and Maha. And the thing is, it only ever came up because you brought it up. I don't think she has ever brought it up. So what she's doing is bringing an association between, my guess, she doesn't like the Trump administration, so she's projecting it onto her, even though she hasn't really like she said positive things about it, but she's not like making her entire thing, oh, this is MAGA. So what's happening is that Trump is coming out of nowhere specifically because she associates Trump and Make America Healthy Again with her. Like what the fuck, bro? Like what is it? Like at least focus on her, because she never brought it up until she never brought it up. The only person that brought it up was you, and then she talked a little bit about it because you brought it up.
Okay.
what you're saying is, I feel that you're coming to the table. You're like, listen, I think that I'm a little bit scared this is an ad for Maha, but.
No, forget, I'm not talking about Maha.
Jillian,
Bro, she got TDS, bro. Bro, I know it's cringy, but like she literally got TDS. Oh my god. Or maybe it would be RDS because it's Robert F. Kennedy. Or maybe it would be called KDS because Kennedy derangement syndrome.
Michael's is saying she wants a seat at the table. She's gonna go to Southwest with Tigress and say, fat people deserve 2 seats. Don't charge them extra. Let them on the plane, bitch. She's gonna go to Nabisco and say, stop putting this shit in the food because, Jillian, I like the food in Europe. I like the makeup in Europe even better.
I have been doing the Nabisco part.
Cool,
The
so thank
Southwest
you.
part is a bit of a separate conversation. But the Nabisco
Sure, there's
part
a lot of
I've been doing.
conversations. I think you're coming to the table to say whether or not, it's just like Oprah, we acknowledge our part in diet culture and whatever, like let's make the change. Let's blame it on the bad guys.
About diet culture.
We haven't even talked about diet culture today. That is a separate episode. Body positivity.
Oh my god, this is what I meant by out of all the people she could have picked.
Activities that we're talking about. I think we have turned to body positivity because of the shame. Because at 9 years old,
yes,
my mother, who was a translator for her mother, who was an immigrant.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. I think it's very whatchamacallit. I think it's a very bad thing that a lot of parents, when they come into America, not only do they never pretty much assimilate, but not only that, but they use their kids as basically a permanent translator, making it so that they always have to be there beside them as a way to always help them out, rather than the parents attempting their best to learn the language and attempting to get through life. Instead, what they would do is go through little communities of like people who speak the same language, never assimilate, and then their kids are forced to be permanent translators for the rest of their lives until their parents pass away. Which, as I said, I think there's a huge selfishness to that, which is there's a difference between sometimes needing help from your kid, but then purposefully never ever improving yourself in the language of the new country you just moved in, and then using your kids as a way to translate to other people. Like, there's a huge difference.
At that time, it was very easy to come to this country. My grandfather came here with a letter in 1964, $100 in his pocket. They are the American dream.
Gotcha.
My mother was at the doctor with her mother.
Okay.
And a doctor, a professional man, I'm sure he was likely white, turned to her and said,
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, it's a white man. He got privilege and shit.
ask your mom if she can have sex. Okay. Ask your mom, just tell your mom.
Yep, and this is the thing, which is that whose responsibility is that? It is the responsibility of the mother to learn a different language, not the country that she moved in, that is English, to assimilate and cater to her. That is the problem. As I said, there's a certain selfishness, and especially with something like that, where your kid literally has to translate things for you because like you've been sleeping with a bunch of dudes. Like, that's horrible. That's horrifying. And that's terrible because, as I said, it's extremely selfish. It's extremely selfish putting it on your kids. I 100% don't like that.
She's like a VW bug going up a hill with 9 people in it. A child.
I get it.
I mean, that's where it all comes from, right? Like, my mommy wound is only because of her own trauma.
Of course, it's multi-generational.
Of course, multi-generational. It gets into the epigenetics. It gets into how she raised me. Maybe you don't know you're on a diet till you're like 6. Mm-hmm. And then you go to your aunt's house who's like, anything you want, right here. What do you want at the grocery store? We'll get you whatever. What did I want? I wanted Yoo-hoo like everybody else, because I wasn't allowed to have Yoo-hoo. I wasn't allowed to have a ding dong. When I came home and I said, I
still have no clue what a ding dong is. Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of snack is that? What the hell? I'm just gonna assume it's either a chocolate treat or some kind of cake thing. I'm just gonna assume.
Ding dongs in my lunch. You know what my mom bought me? Low-fat ding dongs. And low-fat ding dongs aren't wrapped in foil. So everybody knows they're fucking low. It's not a fucking ding dong. I want the foil. So she's acting out of her trauma. Now I'm just like, I didn't choose to be here. And now I'm like, literally this woman is crying as I get off the plane from the Yoo-hoo trip because I had gained so much weight. My grandparents had to buy me new clothes. But I think that great aunt that offered me the Yoo-hoo and said, it's right here, honey, and you don't have to ask anybody when you want one. She knew. She knew I was being restricted at 6 years old. And that is why at 26, when you hear about body positivity and you're like, well, I've been on a diet.
Wait. There's no way. She's 26? There is no way. You look like 40s, maybe 50s. Oh, God, bro. Oh, God. If she is 26, holy freaking crap.
20 years, maybe there's more to life than trying to lose weight. That's what body positivity has given me. So do I still want, of course, to make the right choice every day for my nutrition? Yes. I mean, I can see there's like empathy. I also feel like when you were talking and you thought I was going to interrupt, you could like hear my thoughts through my eyes. And people like you only get to be people like you because you're a unicorn. You're a very...
Oh my God, this is the thing. Oh, you're special. Oh, you had everything given to you. Oh, this is why you're good. But then it leads to her having the mindset of, I'm never going to be anything. I'm never going to accomplish anything. I'm never going to do anything successful. And it's entirely because of this way of thinking. So she has a victim mindset, and it's extremely prevalent. And she's saying, basically, you got lucky, and that's how everything you got came.
special person to have gotten to the place that you've gotten in this world. But the
can I
reality is,
interrupt you?
I'll finish. My point is that that's where body positivity came from. Body positivity actually came to me. You know what I was doing on YouTube? My first YouTube video is me doing the master cleanse. And showing people how to cut the lemons and put their maple syrup in. But then body positivity came and said, hey, you should be talking about plus size fashion, not the master cleanse, girl.
Sounds to me like you still have a lot of stuff that is upsetting you. It sounds to me like you're still contending with a lot.
I'm contending with a society that every day, every minute of the day tells me not only I have to buy a product to be thinner, I have to take a GLP-1 Serena.
You do not have to buy a product to be thinner. What you have to do is eat less. I don't heavily recommend taking things in order to, I don't heavily recommend taking anything like weight loss pills or whatever. I think a lot of them are bullshit, but I think like Ozempic too is also like dangerous. The only thing I do accept is creatine. I think creatine is based as fuck.
Williams is selling me a GLP-1. Julian, that's problematic.
But listen to me.
And then I'm old.
Will you listen? You're still externalizing the wound. The first conversation, I think that's where we stay. The first conversation. That is the most important thing. I don't care about Serena Williams. I couldn't care.
Serena Williams, that's been.
Mama, who gives a fuck?
Because Julian,
she's not.
When you're fat,
Look
when
at
you
me.
no, but when I am getting a GLP-1 ad every time I open any app on my phone, watch the TV, drive down the
for that.
Sure, but imagine in my position, Julian.
Yes.
I went 6 months where every waking hour, including the 3 a.m. pee, my mind said, should I go on a GLP-1? Should I go on a GLP-1? Should I go on a GLP-1?
Okay.
Would you call that food noise? What do you call that?
GLP-1. Let's check what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, it's Ozempic. Okay. Yeah. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that shit.
You tell me.
I call it fucked up.
Okay,
I call it fucked
hold
up.
on.
Because I'm over here like, I own a plus size fashion store. I look like the first fucking fat housewife of Beverly Hills. I'm fucking gorgeous. I got they, thems, he's, she's coming out of my ears. I can fuck anybody on the street. But this world wants to tell me that I need to shrink myself.
not the
that there's a
world,
thin woman within waiting to get out.
Can I say something?
I think I ate her.
Can I say something?
I don't think she's here.
Say something? You also told me that what the world. Tell me how the. Okay. Back up, okay? Tell me how the world makes you feel.
I constantly feel like I have to be smaller. I have to be quieter. I have to be more submissive in my marriage. I have to shrink.
Damn, she married? Damn.
Shrink my body to fit on a plane. I have to.
To be honest, that one's kind of your fault. The plane thing is 100% your fault. They're made for regular people and like people a bit overweight, but as I said, the point when you get to take 2 airplane seats, you gotta pay extra.
To have a bigger car because I need a little more room.
SUVs are the way to go if you want a bigger car, because she obviously not gonna get a Ford F-150.
I need to go to a special store, or actually even better, order it online.
Oh, just get it from Amazon then. And that's not crazy because all they're doing is like XL, XXL, and then extra small, small, medium. Like, most stores are made for most general sizes, to be honest. That's how they should be.
Makes me feel like
circumstances.
Shit. Makes you feel worthless. It makes you feel like I can't go to the mall and spend my money.
It makes you feel how?
Devalued.
Okay, stop. When's the first time you felt that way?
When I was in ballet and the teacher picked an outfit I didn't like for the recital. 8.
When was it when your mom put you on a diet? You said 6.
I mean, after that Yoo-hoo incident, it was a real.
Did that make you feel?
What the fuck Yoo-hoo incident? What? Oh my god, bro! I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Yoo-hoo. Okay, I'm gonna have to search Yoo-hoo. Let's see. Oh, Cheetos? that it? Cheetos? Tacos? Oh, well, whatever. I guess I don't know if I found the right product, but let's keep going.
Feel the way you're currently describing.
No, I didn't know what was. At 6 years old, it's like I knew the ding dong was different because it didn't have the foil, but I didn't understand.
I know, because it becomes you, but unconsciously you do understand. And now, this pattern is playing out everywhere. It has a name. It's literally Freudian. It is called a repetition compulsion.
What about the genetics? Like when I look at photos, you said there were no fat children 100 years ago.
No.
I find that
Hold on.
She means like the vast majority of them weren't fat.
very strange.
There were very
to me.
few. And
Okay, there were fewer.
Wait a minute,
No.
I find that very strange.
There were
to
very
me.
few. And
Okay, there were fewer. There were
fact
fewer.
check me.
But there have always been fat people.
Hold on.
And there always will be. We will not be eradicated, and we're not going
Oh my god, now she basically saying, oh, eugenics, you wanna kill us. It's like, oh my fucking god.
anywhere. Fat's where it's at. We've reclaimed the word. You don't have to do this anymore. You can say bigger bodied. You can say fat.
Okay.
I want to ask you right now to stop using obese and be a part of that.
Okay, so you want fat?
Obese is a slur.
I've always thought that calling someone fat was actually far.
It was
because if fat is tissue, it's not a
but
person.
For
But
our
if
society, it's the worst thing you can be. It's absolutely what every woman and man, woman, and child mostly.
So you're saying fat is the worst thing you can be. So is
That's
this
what
like
our society projects.
But
No, it's not. There's a lot of other things, bro. Didn't you see Khomeini die a few days ago and people celebrated? People were happy that man died. He was a terrorist. There's a lot of worse things you can be than fat. What the fuck?
you guys want
That's
to
what you're yelling at people on the show to be like, don't you want more than to just be fat? It's what everyone is so afraid of.
Why do you think they showed up? Because they didn't want to be there? You think that they showed up because they were forced?
No.
They were thousands of people. They showed up because they wanted change.
Because the world is telling us we have to change.
Listen to me. Stop making it about the world. Because if you cannot stop, listen, you can't change the world. I mean, sure, hopefully, maybe some people can. I don't know. It's not that freaking easy.
I think you might be able to change.
It's not that easy. Just do it. But what we can change is how we respond to the world. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. What I think you're doing, okay, with the world, is reenacting this pattern that you have from being very young. And I don't think it's healthy for you. Because it keeps you pretty angry all the time, it seems like.
Oh, you don't know me well. I'm not an angry person. I think in this context, it's harmful to say that the world doesn't have an impact on why people want to be on a show that's about weight loss.
I think that people...
So what? There's shows about people going on American Ninja Warrior showing how great and fit they are. There's a lot of shows like that.
People want to be on a show that's about weight loss because they want to lose weight.
I think it's because everyone has told us we have to lose weight, that you are not good if you don't lose weight. If your friends are at a burger joint, you're the one getting the salad because you...
Yeah, but this is the thing. She's basically using the world as a way to escape any and all things that she can do in her life personally to fix them. So she's avoiding accountability by saying, oh, the world this, the world that, and she's making the world her entire enemy and her entire premise for every part of her life that is failing.
No, you should restrain from the burger even though we're at a burger place because...
Why should you restrain from the burger?
Because that is what the world has told me, that I have to make the good, healthy choice. Also, let's talk about the fact that no one here said that we don't owe anybody health. I don't owe anybody my health.
Do you want...
Actually, here's the thing. It's not that you owe people your health, because you can kind of do what you want. But then the thing is, you're projecting it as if, oh, I'm perfectly fine the way I am. There's nothing wrong with it. And then you want to project it towards other people having that same feeling where it's the problem. Like that's why I have an issue.
To be healthy.
I am healthy. I'm healthy for me. And this is what healthy for me looks like.
Can I ask you this? If I sent you to a doctor who ran a full comprehensive blood panel. If there were biomarkers.
Yeah, there would be some fatty liver stuff coming up.
Okay.
Sure, yeah, the
Do
cholesterol.
you classify that as not value? This has nothing to do with your value.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about
Is
numbers, the
fatty
data.
Liver.
Sure.
Healthy.
But thin people get fatty liver too.
They're far less inclined.
We're out of time. I have to stop there. Thanks for sharing your story. I really do think that was valuable. Thank you all for being a part of this episode. I know you had to talk about your bodies, you had to talk about your lives. Jillian, thank you for being on this episode.
Hell yeah.
Bringing your passion. And Elon Musk, I know you were watching this, so why don't we get you in the center?
Oh God, bro want the big E, bro. Big Elon, bro. Oh, that one's gonna be annoying because they're gonna be all about, oh, billionaires, oh, Elon Musk rich, oh, I hate you, oh, taxes. Oh, my God, that's what it's gonna be like.
You know what? I really appreciate everybody showing up. I really appreciate them sharing their stories. My issue with body positivity remains, though. Oh, it means this for me. Well, it means that for them. Well, it's about political activism. Oh, yeah, but big food, like that, they can do whatever they want with the movement. Oh, but the influencers, that's not really us. Like, but it kind of is, and that's kind of the problem, is that there's no centralized guideline.
I think she is really limited in what she sees the movement as. She's blaming the movement for the things that people who have co-opted the movement are doing.
I mean, that's the thing. If they become the majority of the movement, you have to call it out, because you're basically, if you're not calling it out, or at least saying why you don't like the movement, or the way it's being taken and co-opted by the majority of people, eventually you become kind of part of the problem that's allowing it to continue.
Call out the co-opters, don't call out the movement for not calling out the co-opters. I do think there's a kernel in what Jillian said about like,
as the equivalent of like the Minnesota fraud being like, oh, go after the fraudsters, not the government that didn't decide to go after the fraudsters. It's like, no, they deserve to, because like, we need to call them out because they're the ones allowing this parasite to take over and take things from the movement.
Thinking that body positivity focuses a little too much on the personal. From our perspective, we want to move beyond just the personal. We think the personal is important. You gotta believe you're worthy of fair and equal treatment in order to demand fair and equal treatment. But we're gonna work on the fair and equal treatment pieces of it.
I kind of agree with the last part.
She was cool, she was calm, she was collected. And I don't know what exactly she's totally talking about, but she is confident in her messaging. What we're here to say is that we don't want to spend our entire life trying to change our body. Shaming me into thinking that I should get on that thing, I should get on the scale or whatever, that's not gonna work on me. Shame has no place in my life. And to me, that's true liberation.
Shame is not a part of this. I can't continue on with this shame. It's more of the same defense mechanism. Every single person who came up and debated me had tried to lose weight, and then when they felt like they couldn't, this is where they resigned themselves. I'm not telling you that getting healthy is easy. I'm telling you it's doable, and you have to decide if you're worth the work.
Yeah, but anyways, this was a really good episode. I think she did pretty freaking well. And oh my God, here is Charlie Kirk, man. Man, it's sad he gone. It's sad my boy gone. But yeah, anyways, that's all.